feet from the edge, and I'm thinking maybe 6 feet ain't so far down. Please come look. I think I'm holding all the love I think is safe. Sorry, I was late. I was listening to Creed. What's up, Negative Nation? Welcome to Next Live. I am Negs. What's going on? Welcome to the broadcast. I am Negs. I am live. That's why they call it that. Blah, 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 blah. I hope you're all doing well. Tonight, we're going to cover a bit of a topic that I probably should have already covered this by now, but I haven't. So tonight seems like the night that I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that. I'm going to cover the topic. So how's everybody doing today? I'm enjoying our new winter hours, noon to 6. It means I'm home earlier. It means I get to spend more time with family. It means I get to play some more Call of Duty. Call of Duty. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Carolyn? Had an awesome day at the store. Sold some instruments, man. There's some really cool motherfuckers that come through my store, dude. I'll tell you what, man. It is like it's some of the coolest fucking people. Bikers, gangsters, fucking people that were that served overseas that have missing fingers. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy, you know? But the homelessness is killing me, dude. It's not in a sense where I'm like, oh, goddamn homeless people, son of a bitch. No, it's like, goddamn, I feel so bad for you, but what can I do for you? What can I do? I can't remedy your situation. I think I said this last night. I can't remedy your situation. I can, you know. So today I gave somebody a backpack because they were carrying everything that they basically had in their arms. So I gave them a backpack. Somebody had sold me something, and man, that's why this keeps doing this. The camera has to be right in front of me or I can't do it. Okay, now I got to move my camera back over. Anyway, I've been that guy. I've never been really homeless. I think if you have a car to sleep in, you're not really homeless. But I've been that guy carrying all this shit in his arms before, just to get to one place. But like these people are doing it every night. They're sleeping in like 6 layers of clothes, and because they're sleeping outside, y'all, while y'all like in there burning up your gas bill and doing 6,000 calorie mukbangs, these motherfuckers are out there shivering their asses off and suffering from mental illness. It makes me sick, because then you come on here and you see people are just everybody on the internet is so fucking goddamn self-serving. I'm not speaking to the viewers. I'm talking about the content creators. They don't ever cover anything that is of any value. I watched Clara review a video that Karina Kaboom did earlier about what Amber Lynn Reed's girlfriend likes to be called. And Karina analyzed it. She analyzed it, and it didn't matter. It didn't matter. I've been watching Amber Lynn Reed off and on for almost 9 years, okay? Almost 9 fucking years. And when I start seeing patterns in people, I just kind of stop watching them, because to most people with high IQs or any kind of intellect, logical thinking, this is mundane and redundant, and it doesn't serve your medulla oblongata. So what's the deal with Kermit? I don't know. But today at the attic.fun, we have a Kermit puppet. I got another one coming. I bought one for myself. Hello, it's me, Kermit the Frog, telling you all that you can go and see Dr. Kevorkian for a shot. Dang! I have a fucking dry mouth today, dude. I've had like 3 drinks in front of me all day. Fucking medicine. You know how you get cotton mouth when you smoke a flooby doobie? Yeah, that's me constantly, just from my medication. That's why I'm like, why does anybody got to fuck with me? I am miserable enough on my own. I don't need your fucking help. I don't need your help to be miserable, okay? I got degenerative arthritis. I got curvature in my spine. I was born with an aortal septal defect. I've had open heart surgery. I've had pneumonia more times than Trump's been sued. I've had unknown viruses. I've nearly been killed by an antibiotic by Reed Hospital, allegedly. And I've had all the other stuff. I don't know what my point was. I was doing this at the store earlier with the guy. You know how I do that? I like ramble and I forget what the fuck my point even was. I did that in real life. And I looked at the dude and I said, what the fuck was I just saying, man? And he was like, oh, you were talking about this. Because there was like 3 or 4 other people in the store. So I'm having 4 conversations at once. Try biotin mouth. I hate that I'm getting to that age, man. I do, because I'm still pretty. I'm prettier than a motherfucker. Look at me. Yeah. I'm prettier than a motherfucker for 37. I'm too pretty to have to do old people stuff. Yeah. So anyway, thank you. I've seen that stuff. It's in a blue bottle with an orange cap, I think. It almost looks like that one drink that they use, NOS. It almost looks like that. I usually just chew gum, which there was some in here, but now it seems to have entered a new realm. This desk isn't that big, but like you could literally lose Liberace and his piano on it. I don't know. I'll just tough it out like a gangster. I also have an incense burning like a foot from my face. Am I pretty? So, you know, I bet if I changed the title to something controversial that involved me, people would start pouring in, and then I could start talking about this topic. And then more people could hear it. Oh, you guys just always want the drama, but you never know. You never know when the drama's going to be like a bomb. Dude, you never know. This is live TV right in the middle. Boom. You never know, especially with me, but we are going to be talking about parental alienation. You may be asking, what is parental alienation? It is when people's children just fucking alienate them for no reason. Now, I understand that parental alienation can come in also other forms, such as there are actual problems, but we're going to talk about parental alienation that is unfucking justified and is malice by nature. I know Beth. I know the important people here. All the gangsters are here. That's right. What's up? Yeah, all the important people are here. Dude, I'm telling you what, I'm like addicted to this Dr. Squatch. I can't believe I'm putting something on my lips called Dr. Squatch. Like it's a Dr. Squatch. That sounds like you can't spell Squatch without squat. So they call it a Sasquatch. Why is it always squatting? Are they making fun of the way he poops? That's weird. Why are you watching the way Bigfoot poops? I don't understand. Everybody squats to poop. I really wish I could just go lean up against a tree and have it be him. It would be so much easier. Because the toilet's too damn low, and I don't have my squatty potty. So I gotta go get my squatty potty. Yeah, I use a squatty potty. What are you gonna do about it? You call him Bigfoot? What if he has tiny little baby feet? You know? They're like, oh, look, he's Bigfoot prints. Really, he's got fake like big shoes on, and underneath the shoes are little itty bitty baby feet, like when Deadpool is like reforming. Anyway, I was listening to One Last Breath by Creed. If you don't like Creed, then you're just a dick. All right, you're just being a dick. If you don't like Creed, it's just because your friends don't. It's a Christian band. They're not a Christian band. They're a rock band. Okay, they're an alternative rock band. They're kind of a slow rock band. I don't know what they are, but they're awesome. They're awesome. Love Creed. Every day from work, my friend and I made a 100-mile round trip. That's how bad the industries were around here in 1996. We drove a 100-mile round trip to our job, and we would play Their First Weather with over and over and over again. We all both had our own parts in the songs and shit. Like, I had two friends we do that with. Hunger Strike. Yeah, anytime you're with a friend and you play Hunger Strike, somebody's Cornell and somebody's Vetter. Okay, I always get to be, for some reason, I get to be Cornell. I have a horrible voice. I'm sure if I had a little coaching, I would be amazing. But I haven't had any coaching, so... well, Finn on that. What's up, it's Dan? I'm just waiting on fools to come in and get educated on parental alienation, but nobody wants to watch it, so I'm going to play it here in a minute. Okay, so we're going to review some videos, and maybe some of you can learn something if you have if you have abandoned your parents. Now, listen, I understand that there are shitty parents. I do. I've seen it. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen it. Dude, I've seen back in the 80s, I've seen parents come out and just like right upside their fucking head, man. And I'd be standing there like, oh shit, am I going to get hit next? Like, I've seen it. And most of those people got the fuck out of those houses. But there are kids that are being groomed by social media or something to just alienate their families for no other apparent reason. I've seen examples where families have helped people in their times of need. They have helped people, like they're having a baby or getting married or this and that. And it's always money and gifts and this and this and this and this. And then just like one day they stopped talking to their parents. And I'm like, what did you do? Nothing. I'm like, yeah, dude, that's something. No, I didn't do anything. Very interesting, huh? So if any of you have experienced that, your kid just going, fuck you, and then like having no contact, put a 1 in the chat, or you don't have to, because it's tough.
What exactly is parental alienation?
It's a family dynamic in which a child's been manipulated by one parent to reject the other parent who did nothing to deserve the rejection.
Now, see, as a weekend warrior dad, this was something I always feared for, until my kids became adults, was that, they were being influenced. Actually, I don't like to get too personal, but one of my children, if somebody in the house said something negative about me, he would come to my defense. He had my back when I wasn't around. That's loyalty.
It's a steady stream of negative messaging to the child that everything that other parent does is bad, wrong, stupid, contemptible, and an indication that the parent doesn't love the child.
Michelle Nyrider would tell people that she felt that her ex-husband was alienating the kids, and people tended not to believe her.
Sadly, many mental health and legal professionals are untrained.
Love for Beth, guys. Let's go. Let's do it. Thank you, Beth.
They don't know what to do about it.
You could see why that would be so damaging on the targeted parent, the parent whose kids are turning away, is it also terribly damaging on the kids? I mean, why does this matter?
That's a great question. I started by interviewing adults who had this experience as kids. These are people who said to their parent, I hate you, don't ever darken my doorway again, I don't want to see you anymore. And it was stunning.
I've never said that to either one of my parents ever in my life. Never. Maybe when I was a little kid, I hate you. I don't even think then. I don't think it was possible for me to utter those words to my mother. If I have, then I'm sorry. My mother raised me. I respected her. I love her, and I still respect her to this day. So
they talked about a lifetime of depression and despair and anxiety and low self-esteem and shame. You know, what is this girl who participated in this murder of her mother? I mean, when she comes around, the pain that she's going to experience, the guilt and the shame. How could I have been so stupid? Why did I listen to my, father, that my mother was horrible? Why did I break my mother's heart?
Why did I help kill my mother?
Wow. Whoa, hang the fuck on. Can somebody, one of my people, find this story? Maybe it's in the suggested, because I'm interested in this now. This girl was told that her mother was so bad to the point where she murdered her. What? How awful. How awful. And what a wow to those parents out there whose children have done this and maybe have the other parent doing this. It's been done to me in the past. Could be happening right now. I don't know. I don't give a fuck. Don't sit around and worry about what people are saying about me when I'm not around. Fuck them. Listen, I don't care what people hate me think. Right? Hate me. All you want. Waste all your energy. Waste all your happiness. Waste all your logic. Waste all of your whatever, your brain cells hating. That's great. Imagine that. But what a thing to learn that somebody was murdered because they were convinced that their mom was so bad. What the fuck?
Yeah. My understanding of this case is that two things happened to an extreme degree. One is she did not believe that her mother loved her, and the other is she was dependent on her father. And I think that she did what made sense to her, which was to preserve a relationship with a caregiving parent rather than be abandoned by him. And
they're both in jail now.
He cultivated that dependency.
That I'm aware of that. Wow. I know there's a lot of parents out there right now, probably in this chat. There's only 20 some odd people here, but there's some of us out there that have probably experienced this. You don't have to say if you did or you didn't. That's not important. But I mean, it is. I mean, you don't have to out yourself, is what I'm saying. Outing yourself isn't important. But I've been just telling everybody in general to chill the fuck out. I see again, here we are, human beings with all this potential. And we waste it. We waste it on hatred for no reason. She killed her mom because her dad said she was bad. Of course he's going to say she's bad. They probably just got divorced. Everybody's ex is bad for a period of time, but you don't want them to go fucking murder them. What is that? Okay, so this next video is very important. Hello, you out there? You watching? Okay. So this next video is very important. It's called The Agony. The Agony of Parental Alienation. You take a child and you abandon them, and they remain confused and mentally tied up because of it, right? You wake up one day and your mom's gone. You wake up one day, your dad's gone. You wake up one day and your parents are getting a divorce. And then that man and his entire family reject you with prejudice. And yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that I've been alienated by a complete family. A complete family alienated me after being a part of it for 10 years. And most of the people are dead. Who cares? Most of the people are dead. It really hurt. It really sucked. And after that, I found family on the streets and with people who were like me, whose parents were going through a divorce, people who were like me, who were confused, didn't know where they were going. You know, like kids that were self-harming and drinking vodka at the top of the hill, looking at the stars. You know, my teen years were melancholy and the infinite sadness. All right, tell us about the agony.
You have expressed a desire for online counseling, and to that effect, we have a sponsor who will help you and assist you in that respect. So if you will, go beneath the video, you'll find a link to our online counseling sponsor. They have a whole...
My sponsor is The Attic. Go to theattic.fun or come check us out at 208 West 30th Street, Connersville, Indiana, 47331. See, that's information you could put out because it's a business. It's not a bunch of people's names.
Whole team of counselors that can help you. Practice self-care. Get the help that you need.
I did. I go to therapy. Went every week, and then I went every week, and then I started going every other. I was going every week, so I went back to every other week, and then everything fell apart. Dr. Les Carter is gonna look in your butt. Yeah, he's got a speculum. Yeah, and some rubber gloves and a pack of chewing gum. Oh, sorry.
I want to talk with
I
you
should be
today
taking
about
this serious.
a very difficult topic in the sense that it's one that tends not to have real good resolution. And that's the topic of parental alienation syndrome. Basically what we have...
Did you say syndrome? It's a fucking syndrome. Why is everything a syndrome?
In this case is mom and dad have had a split between each other, and now they're living in separate places, and one parent is trying to train the child to have the same amount of disdain and contempt towards the other parent as the alienating parent has. Basically, there's a brainwashing, there's a programming going on. Part of the definition of parental alienation is that the parent being alienated doesn't have a strong reason to be alienated other than the fact that mom or dad over here just doesn't like them, and they...
Yeah, that's you know, and that shit don't fly when you've got legal, like when you go to court and you get your visitation and you pay your child support, bitch can't keep the kid from you. She can go to jail. She could go be held in contempt. It's a police order. If I don't pay my fucking child support, I go to jail. So if she doesn't let me see my son and withholds him from me without a court order, yeah, she can go to jail or pay or be put on probation, and that can snowball from there.
They want to teach the child to have the same amount of hate as that person has.
How do you gift memberships? You click on the $sign and then it says membership gifting at the bottom.
Statistics will show us that about 14 or 15% of cases where mom and dad have split will end in this strong parental alienation pattern. My experience as a therapist says that it actually could be higher than that. Some of the cases may not be as severe, but the fact that there's some of it at all is troubling as far as I'm concerned. Also, statistics will show us that about 68% of the cases of parental alienation involve mom alienating the kids against dad, and about 32% dad alienating the kids against mom. Either direction you want to go, you can see that there are battle lines drawn, and the battlefield is the child's psyche. And it's never going to end well for that, because the child is the one who's hurt the most. Now, when we have this parental alienation,
the adults don't give a fuck. I'm going to tell you right now, I've had some very interesting experiences, and I feel like that I have earned the right to talk to them about them to a degree, because it is my life. And if I want to talk about it, I'll talk about it. You motherfuckers out there watching the replay who don't like me, you've already done everything that you could do. So you've called everybody. You've everything's been done. So, I have never necessarily been put on a pedestal. I remember I was having a rough time. I had to pay my child support. I had to, dude, I mean, like, I was trying to live, eat, pay child support, have visitation with my kids, work a full-time job, this, that, and everything in between. And it was tough. And I didn't have money to like go take my kids to like Kings Island every weekend or go on a trip to Florida. Those weren't realities for us. Now they went with their other family because I don't know, I guess they got a lot of money to blow on trips, to places. And it's good that they got to see those things and do those things. But somebody called me a bad father because I didn't have money to take my kids to Kings Island. And I that has been 15 years ago. And I still, to this day, remember them saying that. And I said, that is what it's been reduced to? You have nothing else? I don't have enough money. I don't have $500 to blow at an amusement park, so I'm a bad dad. Fuck you. I just got off work yesterday at midnight. And I got up today and I took my kids somewhere and we did something fun that was virtually free. It's called Core Memories, man. People are brutal. If they want to cut you down, they're brutal. I spared this man my brutality. I was in the car. We were in two separate places. I'm talking my verbal brutality because I didn't know what to say because I had respect for this guy. And he said that, and we had to run into each other eventually.
The alienator is very free with criticism towards the other parent. They may do things.
I know this is happening right now.
They may say, well, if there are gifts that was given to you by that other parent, they're not allowed here at our house. Or if you have clothing here at our house, you can't take it over there. Or cell phones, or the rules are very different, and it's very favorable in the alienator's direction. Things of that nature.
Now, my guns and my three-wheeler obviously stayed at my dad's house because he lived out in the middle of bumfuck Egypt, right? Middle of fucking nowhere. You couldn't find us with GPS because there's no signal, right? So, of course, those things stayed there, but there was never anything that was like, no, don't take that to your dad. No, don't take that to your mom's. The only thing was calling my stepdad dad. That wasn't approved of. And hindsight being 2020, he was correct. He was correct. Out of respect,
The alienating parent can train the child to distrust not only the other parent, but all the other people associated with that person, grandparents and aunts and uncles and cousins and close friends. The alienator has no problem whenever the opportunity arises to manipulate the child's schedule so that he or she doesn't have the same amount of time that they're supposed to have with the other parent.
And understand that this can also be initiated and perpetuated by other members of the family. It doesn't have to be mom and dad. It could be a wife, a girlfriend. It could be anyone. Anyone getting up in your head, getting you to alienate somebody, because like people do this to each other. Like, if you talk shit about somebody when they're not around, like I have two friends, right? One I do business next to, and the other one is a friend, and he does a lot of work for me. And one day we were in the shop, and we had just finished bagging on this dude, and he came walking in, and I said, "I just want you to know that we were talking mad shit about you." And he's like, "Oh, I know. We all talk mad shit about each other, but we're still friends and love one another." I was like, "Yeah, all right, cool. We all get it. We all get it. We talk shit because we care, because we're friends. If we didn't talk about it and care, we wouldn't be friends." So that was kind of weird. Anyway.
It could be small, like, letting a kid come over and spend the night when, well, it was time for you to go see dad. Well, but I didn't want to let my little boy or girl have to miss that. Or I've had a case where vacations were planned around somebody else's schedule when it was the other person's schedule to have, things of that nature.
I've had to do that. I mean, when you co-parent with somebody, there comes a point where you have to start respecting one another. If I didn't get the respect that I thought I deserved, I would have went to court and gotten the respect that I thought I deserved. Not that I thought I deserved, but that I'm entitled to when it comes to my rights as a father with children. But fortunately, I was able to co-parent without any drama to a degree. There's always going to be drama when you're around the baby mama. But, being completely difficult all the time, yelling, there was no, you won't yell at me because I don't respond to it. You know how I respond to people shouting and screaming in my face? Are you done? That's it. It is weird. I have the worst anxiety in the world. And if you got somebody shouting in my face or spitting all over my face and you think they're going to stab you with a fucking fingernail file or something. And I don't know. It's weird. It's like, anyway,
many times the situation is such that the child is trained to be a spy on behalf of the alienator. Who were they with? Was there another woman there? Was there another guy there? How much were they drinking? What about the kids that the other person
Jesus Christ
has? Well, what were they there? What were they like? And the kid can actually become a data collector. Most strongly, the emotions that the alienator has can be transferred into the child. If the parent that's alienating just has a deep disgust, they can just let it be known to the child, you have no idea how much pain that person created in me, or how wrong they are, or how many lies they told, and the child can just be pumped full of all sorts of information that where the child is thinking, well, I feel what you feel.
Never did this to my kids. Never did this to my kids. Never. And it was never done to me. It was never done to me, pumped full of information. I mean, it was unnecessary because I had different relationships with everybody. Have a different relationship with my dad, my mom, my uncle, my grandma. I mean, a lot of people, their aunt could be their favorite person, like their mom. People like they're raised by their grandma. It's like my mom. I was raised by my aunt. She's my mom. You know what I'm saying? I have different relationships with everybody. So, and my mom, for the most part, is a peace-loving person who would do anything for anybody. And she doesn't participate in that horse shit, bringing negativity into the world.
And so there's a splitting that goes on there. Loyalties are divided. If you're loyal to that other parent, then that means you're not loyal to me. And so it has to be one or the other. And the child, typically over time, like I use the term brainwashing, they're brainwashed enough to think, well, I have to stick with you and protect you from this other person over here, when in fact it doesn't have to be.
And in this case, loyalty becomes a form of slavery. It does, because now you're in servitude. Perpetual servitude. You're an indentured servant to the favored parent. Even if my like my dad would ask me how school was and shit like that, but then like when I'd get home from my dad's, my mom would just ask me what we did, and I'd be like, we shot guns, bow and arrow, and burnt some shit, burnt like 10 tires, and rode the 3-wheeler and flipped it over and thought I was going to die, and it was on fire. And I mean, this is all shit that really happened. So, like it, but she was like, I mean, my dad's cool as fuck. He would pull up when I was a little kid and on his Harley, and put me in front of him and put my helmet on, and off we went. Built different, son. Way. Built different.
Many times when we see things like this, the child himself or herself can be very troubled and emotionally off kilter. Many times you'll hear them actually parrot phraseology that the alienator uses. For example, I remember one dad saying, my daughter said to me that I'm being emotionally dysregulated. What 10-year-old daughter uses terms like emotionally dysregulated? Well, this little girl was being trained by her mother to think negatively towards the father, and somewhere or another she used that, and that's what the little kid thinks. They learn to parrot what the alienating parent says and thinks.
Don't think that shit ends when they turn to adults either. Don't think that shit ends. I'm not the type of parent that wants to gain the favor of my adult children, like by, oh, I could do this for you, I could do that for you. I'm always trying to help provide an opportunity or find an opportunity. But
many times the child knows that there's something wrong or difficult that's being played out in their own personal lives by the alienator, but rather than having the strength to stand up to that parent, they just collapse, and it's like it creates more problems than it solves.
Exactly,
by me saying I want to be with this other parent, and so they just collapse, and it's like I don't want that other person because that other person represents difficulty, not because they're a bad person, but because the alienator is making it such that it's just there's too high of a price to pay.
And again, this doesn't stop when they become an adult. This, matter of fact, I think it may become amplified, especially when there are grandchildren involved. I've seen a lot of drama happen around people who because a lot of people here, they usually meet somebody from here. They marry somebody from here. So everybody knows everybody. But, when you have people that marry new people, you don't know the family. You don't know them. You got to learn to assimilate with them. I've seen problems break out for no reason at all. For absolutely zero reason at all. Sometimes even for selfish needs, like, money, gifts, shit like that.
Now, let's suppose you're in a situation where you're on the receiving end of this and you think, well, what do I do? One thing we can say for sure is there is no one size fits all situation here.
Nope.
Sometimes the best thing to do is to be very strict with regard to what the courts require and just say, that's just what we're going to do.
Yes.
Other times doing it that way can actually make it worse, because the child can have so much of a resentment if the alienated parent comes on real strong. So sometimes you wind up having to take a less is more approach. All right, if I don't force the child to come over as much, but we can do it in shorter shots, and sometimes that might make it easier. Sometimes you have to do it that way. Other times it becomes really difficult if you are the alienated parent and now a new person has come into your life, a man or a woman that has kids of their own, and then that becomes part of the battleground, and then you have loyalty to that, and you don't want them exposed to the ex and all. It becomes very complex.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. I've in the past, yes. Well, I was in my 20s and I was dumb. I tried a couple times to be the great melting pot of families. It did not work. And then when I became a single parent, I just stayed single for like forever and a day. Forever. I was single for almost a decade because I did not want, because the last time I had tried something with when the other person had children, it just ended in a way that was just so goddamn negative. I hated it. So I said, no cats, no kids. I got on stupid dating apps. I was it's cringe, like this is probably some dude. I'm going to pull up at Arby's and it's going to be a dude in drag. This is dumb, but like, I'm sorry to tell these stories. I'm sorry. But like, I never wanted to bring people in and out of the kids' lives, especially this one here, because he's been through enough.
In the best case scenario, what I say is, if at all possible, you do want to speak to the child about the differences that are there. what you don't want to do is you don't want to do so in such a way that makes you just like the alienating parent. You don't want to just teach your hate or put your hate on the inside. But there might be times when you'll need to simply say something like, what your mother or father is saying is not accurate. And you might even give some illustration of what the inaccuracies are. And again, you have to be very gingerly because you don't want the child to feel like that other parent is being stepped all over. But then the big thing you do want to do is you want to let it be known, why don't we decide that when it's you and me, then we're going to have certain principles that we operate with. We want to have respect. We want to have cooperation. We want to have open communication. We want to have...
Okay, well, I'm going to stop right there. I want to back up and just repeat everything he said.
And you do want to do is you want to let it be known, why don't we decide that when it's you and me, then we're going to have certain principles that we operate with. We want to have respect. We want to have cooperation. We want to have open communication. We want to have mutual regard for each other and listening. Would you be willing to work with me? That's what I stand for. And you let it be very clear that who you are is quite distinct and different from that alienating parent. And let that be your best argument.
And you maybe this is definitely regarding younger children going through a divorce, but it can apply. It's applicable to adult children as well, because like you're lying to yourself if you think this stops when they become adults and have children and stuff. Personally, in my family, cruelty and emotional manipulation is not a part of our repertoire. Maybe we don't talk about things enough, but we don't constantly hurt one another. You know what I'm saying? Or scheme. And you also got to remember, you can know somebody their whole life and they meet a whole ass stranger, right? And then suddenly you're not good enough. Wow. You're good enough for an amount of time. And because this stranger is in this thing, and this ear, this is the ear.
You know, I take what I refer to as the country dog approach in these kind of situations. A country dog has no fence. The city dog, as a contrast, has a fence, and that's what the alienator is wanting to do. The alienating parent wants to say, okay, stay inside of my mold, stay inside my fence, be a mini me, and we're going to get along just fine. And so that child is trained to stick inside the grooves that parent has laid out for the kid. The country dog approach says, well, I've got my home base here, and I'm here at my home base, but I'm not going to try to force feed anything. I want you to know that as you are desirous to come over freely into my space, I'd love to have you here. And I want to make sure that my availability is something that's well known, it's well established. I'm very tuned into who you are. I'm not in competition with your other parent, but I'm not going to try to force feed something if it's going to mean that we have greater and greater anger and hurt and pain. Sometimes that approach works out well, sometimes it doesn't. I had a case where I had a 46-year-old man who had been alienated from his father at age 13. His mother and grandmother, they had moved to another state. And so for 33 years, he didn't talk to his dad.
Oh my God. What?
At age 46, he found his father, jumped on an airplane, went and spent a long weekend with him and came back. And he told me, he said, you know, I was lied to. And I was duped this whole time. That I was told all these negatives, and my dad gave me a perspective, obviously, that I hadn't heard. And now I'm as conflicted as ever. And he had a whole lot of difficulty his grandmother had passed, trying to come to terms with his mother on this. And he wound up having a good relationship with the dad with a 33-year absence.
You hear that? You hear that? You lie to people about dad, grandpa, mom, dad. Did I say grandpa? Grandma, aunt, great aunt, cousin. You lie and somebody misses out on an opportunity because you have some, I don't know, some kind of mental deficiency that wants you to destroy people. That's what this does. If you lie, a single, God damn it, one lie could ruin someone's life. One lie. It can.
And I hate it when I see something like that. Basically, if you're on the receiving end of this alienation,
I'm not crying out of eye booger, promise.
you want to take the notion that says, I'm going to do all that I can to keep myself available. I'll drop invitations, I'll send notes and texts and cards and gifts and things like that are appropriate.
Yeah.
And when we're there, I'm going to have as much of a positive kind of exchange as I can with that child. I want the child to see what a healthy alternative looks like. When possible, we can discuss some of the difficulties. But if the child is so tethered to the alienating parent that it's like, nope, I don't want to come there, I'm not going to be there, then we take the approach that says, when you're ready, I'm ready.
And that's how I feel with my kids, because I don't know about you. I'm not going to nag and nag and nag and nag and nag. I love my kids enough that in order for them to be happy, I have to be away. I love them enough to do that. I just hope that, down the road when they have kids, that they don't have that same conversation with their kids and they're told to hit the road, right? Because that's the way it goes. It's called generational cycles, and I have broken many cycles that have, occurred within my lifetime. Some cycles may still exist. I don't know.
And when
they're not
you want
negative, if they do
engage with me, I'm quite willing. One of the private things that sometimes these parents will say is, my biggest fear is as this child grows and ages, they're going to become the spitting image of that very unhealthy parent. And I'm going to have less and less in common with that child. And that's where my heart just breaks.
Yeah, my heart breaks too. Because I'll just give you an example. I have been raising a boy for 13 years, going on 14 years. Wow, Jesus, it went by quick. And he is one of the most empathetic, caring, loving people I've ever met. Right? I mean, he is. He like, if I'm having a bad day, he knows. He comes up, he gives me a big hug, he gives me a little bit of a pep talk, and I'm like, wow, my almost 17-year-old son is like making me feel better. Now, is that a product of self, or is that a product of environment? And I say that to you because I've heard a lot of fucking bullshit online about I don't know why y'all want to talk about how apparently you don't know shit beyond the screen, but I've heard some bullshit. So you would think that if I were so bad that I wouldn't have such a loving, caring child, I'd have a kid who didn't come out of his room, and when he did, he was a hateful prick, right? See, I'm not fucking cruel to people. Cruelty begets damage that can't be seen but can't be fixed.
That very often can happen. That's why I say it's one of the most difficult things. What you do want to do is keep your lines of communication open, have as much honesty as is necessary of communication. Why I say it's one of
I want everybody to hear this next part. Open your ears.
Difficult things. What you do want to do is keep your lines of communication open, have as much honesty as is necessary or appropriate for the child's psyche, and then you kind of have to take your hands off the control panel, knowing that the more you get into a battle, then the controlling, alienating parent is just going to double down and make it even worse. Keep yourself available, and above all, try not to let the situation completely define you. Remind yourself that you have other people that you can connect with well.
Yeah, don't let it define you, because, I have a lot of kids and shit, but I've done what's right by everybody. I don't give a fuck what any dickhead on the internet says you're a fucking moron. You don't know what you're talking about. But I've done right by everybody. What did he say? I got to get my point.
Completely define you.
Yeah, don't let it define you because, you're a bad guy because you can't go to Kings Island. Oh, I'm bad. Dude, you know what? I went to Kings Island when I was 17 because somebody gave me a ticket. I didn't have any money for food, water. We drank a fifth of vodka before we went in. I thought I was going to die. Okay. So no, I don't have $500 to go to Kings Island. Like, who says that to somebody? Especially somebody that they know they're going to run into in a month at a party, a birthday party or something.
Above all, try not to let the situation completely define you.
Don't let it define you. I did. I let it define me. Man, I don't know, man. Like, I don't think some of y'all out there that do commentary and go on Twitter with your fucking vitriol understand what any person you're talking about has even fucking been through. You don't take time to think that, maybe they lost somebody close to them or all you do is take completely normal talk and commentary on subjects and turn it into something it's not. Because you are low fucking IQ, period. If all you've got is hatred, if you're willing to suspend reality to hate somebody, that's a fucking problem. That's just a problem to me. This isn't pro wrestling, right? It could be, but everybody in the world has decided to create content, make the internet a reality show. Like I think Boogie 2918 or somebody's swatter got 20 years in prison, making a false police call. I mean, that was the SWAT team, but yeah.
Have other people that you can connect with well, who love you and you love them.
Exactly.
You can have new and different relationships that you can pour yourself into.
Exactly.
And like I say, if that child eventually comes around and has more of a fullness with you, that would be wonderful. But at the same time, you're not going to be so completely tied down that it ruins you as a human, because that's what the alienating parent wants.
And you can definitely listen. I've been a father. After my mini me turns 18, I will have been a father for almost 30 years. I will have raised and fathered children for nearly 30 years. So it is great to have a relationship with them. Hang on a second, I gotta
be tied down that it ruins you as a human, because that's what the alienating parent wants.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know what the hell I was going to say. I have had the best of both worlds, I guess. I don't know. I love all my kids and I love them all the same. And I treated them all the same and everything was equal, right? Until I got on YouTube and started getting some money, it was pretty meager. But after that, we had some pretty bomb ass Christmases. So thank you all that supported us during that time. I appreciate that.
Now, like I say, this is a very difficult situation, and this is one that doesn't fit a one-size-fits-all kind of resolution. So I would strongly encourage counseling for something like this.
Well, if the person won't talk to you, you can't get them into counseling now. You're going to show up to counseling. It's just going to be you every time.
If you've not already done so, I would encourage you to hit that subscribe button so we can.
All right. That's where we ended when he starts plugging the channel. I got one more video, but we're going to take a little bit of a break here and discuss, because I have a feeling from what I've heard and what I've seen, this is like a phenomenon. Like this is just not, it's not happening. It's not isolated because when it happened to somebody I knew, I was like, damn, kid quit talking to him. Can't see his grandkid. I was like, dude. He's like, yeah, it's sad. And I'm like, that is fucking sad, dude. Like, what? Why would somebody do that? I mean, I've been on Facebook, right? This small town. And I've seen people who I know And you can tell they're active drug users. They get to see their grandchildren, right? So it's like, what's the standard here? Who is setting the standards? I covet my bloodline. I do. And I would do anything to protect my bloodline. I would. Because people have walked away from that. They've walked completely away from that. Their bloodline. Their family, to be proud of who they are, to have their last name and be proud of that last name. You have opinions on parental alienation. We're still talking about it. You can put them on here, or you want to come up on the panel. Yeah, I don't care. Anybody can come up. Just like, if you can, like, don't show me your dick. That's all I asked. Don't show me your dick. Or any part of you nude, no matter what gender you are. I don't want to see anything. Unless it's Gigi Allen nude, then we can talk. Yeah, I went through parental alienation during a divorce as a kid, but like it was weird. It was weird, but that wasn't the most traumatizing thing that ever happened in my life. It's in the top 10, but I mean, my top 10 is pretty fucking grim. Pretty fucking grim. And 2020 filled up about 3 or 4 spots in that top 10. I was like, fuck this year. That year was garbage. 2020, what was up with that? It wasn't even like because of the vid. It was just like people were sick, people were dying unexpectedly, people were getting bad drugs, and just like, God, I stuck to vodka because it's made by professionals, I'm not going to drink it and die. You got to fit? No, I drink some bad vodka. Oh, my glavin. You know what I'm saying? Does anybody want to come up? Come up, chat. Let's talk about parental alienation. Come on. Don't be a chicken. Come on, do it. Give me 3 more. Get to the chopper. It was a horrible year. I'll be honest with you. Every year has been horrible since 2020. There's just been always been something serious happening. Always. I don't enjoy it one bit. And I don't ask for it one bit. Me being, is it him? Are you the one causing all the trouble? Jeez, no wonder people hate me. Look at this guy back here. He's got a butterfly on him, and he's red, and he's pretty. I don't know. They could, the kind of way, can they ban me from life? Can they ban me from life? I don't know what I'm supposed to be. Actually, I'm supposed to be able to get my channel back because they are giving channels back from a stupid rule they had. That's why I lost my channel. To be honest, the only reason I lost my channel is because Charlie Gold and her Rainbow Brigade came swooping in, and I got a manual review, and I violated a term of service involving an illness that they later overturned because it turned out to be right and it wasn't misinformation. So I'm supposed to be getting my channel back. So here I am. I've been unbanned, essentially. So there's that. The world changed. People did. There's people that I have known for years, and then they do something and I'm like, who are you? Like, who are you? Seriously, like my friend of 20 years doing all that extra shit. Mocking me in front of my store while being an assistant manager at the Dollar General. It's like, Like, dude, I took care of people, and it seems like the people you do the most for fuck you over the worst. So I just do a little for a lot of people. I do. I wish I could do more, man. I don't want to get under the umbrella of government grants and shit to try to help people, though. The goal is to accumulate as much wealth and power as possible to be able to alleviate this problem. But homelessness is a billion-dollar industry. Billions of dollars are made because people are homeless. I think parental alienation is evil. My mom did her best to make me hate my dad when I divorced. I did everything I could to let my kid know dad loves him. I never said anything negative to any of my kids about their mothers. You know what I'm saying? Because that's fucked up. Yeah, I don't like her, but I'm not going to sit there and talk shit about their mother because, like, how awkward would that be? You know, and you know, even when I was when I've been raising this guy, still, I don't say anything negative. Why? What is it? Who does it benefit? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm glad our situation is the way it is. Yeah, billions of dollars are made off of the homeless epidemic. I had a protective order and just told my kid dad was busy at work and would see him soon. You know, all my kids are adults except for one. So I don't have to go through any of that fucking baby mama horse shit. I have full custody of this kid here because there are shitty mothers out there. Imagine that. Imagine there being shitty mothers out there. I'm shocked. There's shitty mothers out there. So, you know, I'm willing to help, but I'm not willing to enable. But what's really bothering me is I'm seeing homeless people who are mentally ill. And I guess it's like when people are mentally ill, you're kind of a tribe, because like I'm not afraid of you know, a mentally ill homeless person. I'm not afraid of them because I don't know what they're going through, but I know that they need help, and I know that that type of suffering is unimaginable, and it could kill you because it just. I don't know. It's hard to explain. So, shitty, manipulative mothers, most definitely. It's sad but true. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There's a ton of shitty mothers out there. It's been years. Look, man, I'm almost 50. I don't go to people's houses and hang out. Literally for months, this is what I do. I go to work at 208 West 30th Street, Connersville, Indiana, next to Repentless Tattoos and the Dank House, and I come home. That's literally all I fucking do. I don't want to go to anybody's house. I don't want anybody's drama. I don't want to go to the bar and pick up some drama. I just want to come home, pet the dogs, give my family love, and then maybe do a live, draw a little bit. I've been writing like crazy. I've like written, I don't know if they're songs or poetry, one and the same, but like, yeah, that's it. I promised myself a peaceful life, and I'm going to deliver. I don't do lives with my kid. He hasn't even came in here in months. He used to pop in here occasionally, but I mean, people already knew what he looked like. You know, they're calling his school and passing around pictures and stuff. I'm like, no, this is my time. I'm an adult. I'll put myself out here. I mean, I can handle myself. Little Negs. Yeah, we don't call him out anymore. We just call him his name. I'm the only Negs in the house. That's just Claire's the only one that calls me that. Nobody else. Literally nobody else in the world calls me that. You know, in real life, literally, I tried it because I was like, you know, fuck it, I'll just be Negs like Pauly Shore or Carrot Top, you know, I'll just be Negs 24/7, and nobody liked it. They're like, I don't like that. I'm like, why? They're like, 'cause it sounds negative. I'm like, yeah, that's it. That's what's. Never mind. So that's why Negs is supposed to be a character. But, you know, the character has gray areas. You know, I have hundreds of hours of footage of me at work and then me coming home. That's all I do. Work and come home. #truth. Yeah, I've never had to go through any of that type of crap. Like, pretty much by the time I got custody of my son, things had gotten so bad with her that they just gave me custody. I mean, because I had filed, like, every time I went to go get him and he wasn't there with her, he was 2, I went and filed. What the heck just happened? What the heck just happened? Something weird just happened. Like, everything shut down for a second. I would go file. I would go file. That's like, it was like dozens of filings. I quit after, I don't know, 20, 24, because it like, we get it. She's not showing up. Thank God for, thank God that boyfriend of hers like kicked her in the face. Or actually, thank God she attacked him and then he kicked her in the face. In Florida, they arrest the aggressor. You don't know the feeling. Some of you don't know the feeling. I've had the feeling of a child being missing and burying one. This shit changes you in chemical way, in like biochemical ways that you don't even understand. Like, you know, homeschooling him is the best decision I've ever made because everybody's fucking nuts. Everybody's crazy on this motherfucker. I remember back in the day, like, you know, like remember when MFW called that girl's grandpa asking about grape? That was like, I thought that was peak fuck shit then. And nobody cared. And I was like, what? Now look where we are. I mean, I'm telling you, the law right now, from what I understand, what I've been reading and hearing and all this, they're starting to catch up. Especially the FBI. They're starting to catch up because, like, this is something that may not be able to be handled on a local level because a lot of small towns have drug problems and other issues. But the FBI, they kind of handle crimes that are done via wire. Like, this is the telephone, basically. And if I committed a crime doing this, I could be, you know, you could be convicted of or charged with some kind of wire, using a wire to intimidate, harass, whatever. Is MFW still on YouTube? I don't think so. She's on TikTok, I think. So she said she was going to sue me. Whatever, bitch. Blood from a stone. What do you want? You want my almost empty vape or my half full vape? Which one do you want? Which one you want? You want my half used Dr. Squatch chapstick? because she went on video and said what she said, and I repeated it, and she apparently that's defamation of character to repeat what somebody else said. If I could drink another one. Oh, I have every intention on catching the laws, catching the judicial system up. First, I mean, it's going to be a multi-pronged attack. It's going to be foundation, writing up a manual on this stuff, and then trying to do something with it, trying to get some laws passed. There's more people. This shit happens to people that maybe have 5 viewers, like locally. In the hood, people get killed over this stuff. There needs to be something done. Like, once you use the telephone to, like, I don't know, you're live and you're calling the police. What are you doing? You're basically making a false police report using the phone, which is the dumbest thing you could do on video. Like, why would you do that? I don't even understand that. Wow, great, riveting content, fucking Jurassic Park level shit. You know? I would never do that. If I need to make a police report, I'm logging off, and I'll see you later. Because I'm going to go in town, I'm going to make a report, I'm going to talk to somebody, and I'm going to talk to the chief, and then I'm going to come home. Well, what I need is somebody that has legal expertise, that has a couple hours a week to donate. That's it. Just a couple hours to sit in a Skype call and go over what we've got. Because eventually the goal is to provide lawyers to people who have been hemmed up in some fuck shit that other people are lying about, and to also educate Congress, the Senate, but more importantly, starting with the local level, the police department and the mayor. Mayor gets a copy. Everybody, the police department, everybody gets a copy. It'd just be fucking PDF, download it, or here's a hard copy, right? And everybody, it needs to be like how do you go out and be a cop and know exactly what every crime is, right? This is something that needs to be. I mean, really, it's a federal issue, FBI issue, completely. But everybody needs to be educated on it because resources. You know how many times they've went to Cyrex's house? Probably 150 times. You know how much money that has cost the county to go to Cyrex's house so all these neckbeards online can be like, it's insulting. We're lucky to have those resources. And you want to use them because some midget online said something you didn't like, really check yourself. Check your code at the door. Take your shoes off when you come in my house because you're wrong. Across the board, you're all wrong. Music Biz Marty, what are you doing? You're making money, yeah, but it's blood money. You don't have any talent. You're not on screen. And your life is making money off of a mentally ill tiny man who should be in a group home. That's your accomplishment in life. Some people build buildings, some people fly planes. Marty, he bullies he bullies small people who are mentally ill. I know all the other stuff he's done. Whatever. Punish him and get past it. You either punish him once or you quit punishing him. Or you just stop fucking with him. That's what I do. I cover, if there's some diddler, I cover him once and then I move on. Moving on. We're not going back to that one. Well, he got a visit allegedly from the feds. And that's why I'm saying this whole thing is a federal level thing. When you go to somebody else's city and get an Airbnb right down the road from their house and you've been harassing them this entire time online, which it can be viewed as harassment, and then you beat on them. I realize that he went there. Dude, what was he supposed to do as a man? I'm not taking Cyrax's side because he's a piece of shit. He is, but it's because of his mental illness, right? So what's he supposed to do as a man? He's supposed to go down there and do something about it. If he didn't do anything, he would have went down as a bitch. At least he went down screaming, right? Shadow, I have worked in group homes that there were people in there that had stabbed people. I was nearly stabbed in a group home with a big pen by somebody who liked me, but their brain didn't work right. It clicked and they tried to stab me, and it took me and another dude to get the pen out of her hand. And it was like sweep the leg. It was like a Van Damme movie. But no, he needs to be in a group home or a state hospital, because all of these stupid fucks online are costing the county thousands and thousands of dollars. Who knows how many people have died while they've been sitting there at Cyrax's house for no reason. Like, I was at Cyrax's house. Content. Where's your originality at, guys? You got no originality? You can't like pick up a guitar, pick up a pen, make an actual video that doesn't involve tormenting someone? Because I'm telling you, once we get started, I don't know the name of the project yet. I'm going to think of that. Once we get started, it's full steam ahead. Once I find some legal counsel that's willing to donate a couple hours of their time every week to us, we're going to hit the road. We're going to hit the ground running. We're going to find a benefactor. We're going to find a place to run it out of. And then we are going to start writing. Because trust me, there are a lot of people out there who are really tired of the internet being the Wild West, where you could just do all these things. That's why people who SWAT got 20 years. Make an example. That's just my opinion, and I think there's a lot of people that would agree with me. Would you like to go on the internet and not have somebody eventually come to your house or call your grandma? You would like that, right? You would like that, right? Or call the police on you live. You would like to be able to go on the internet and do that, right? Because it is a complete perversion of the judicial system to treat it as if it is your own paddle to spank people with. I've seen grown men call the police on me online for no reason. False police report. Like, and if people are allowed to do that, what's next? So what we want to do is increase the penalties on laws like on things like calling the fire department, calling the ambulance and the police and sending them all to somebody's business and costing the city thousands of dollars. It's already a felony, and you have to pay back every dime that it costs to make that run, which is around, they give us around $2,500 for them to come to my store. $2,500 in this town that's struggling. And they were probably needed elsewhere. But, you know, content. I'm over it. We pay taxes. We should be able to enjoy a peaceful environment. And that includes the internet. Nobody has the right to go on the internet and effectively ruin people's lives. Nobody has the right to do that. You can't do it in real life. You can't do it on the internet. So my goal is to make it a crime and to make the penalties for it stiff. Like complete suspension of your internet privileges for whatever it may be. I don't know how long does it take somebody to learn a lesson. 2, 3 years. And they should put a little bracelet on your ankle. That way, anytime you pick up a phone, you cannot access anything but the phone. Not even text message, just call. Actually, you're not even allowed to have a smartphone, just a flip phone. There you go. The doxing thing is already a crime. Malicious doxing is a felony. And if you post somebody's address on Twitter, that is malicious. So I want to see to it that those types of things are absolutely prosecuted and that the penalties are stiff. And I think that there should be civil penalties involved, because it's not only a criminal issue, it's a civil issue. There should be restitution made to every single victim. Tis the goal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm heading to Washington. Negs in Washington. But I've seen so many people doxxed just for talking, people getting doxxed for being in a chat. Nah, we're done with that. We're going to lobby for YouTube to change its rules as well. This hiding behind a VPN and all this other shit. They're going to have to make a change that every person who is participating on their platform can be identified. I know it sounds a little Stasi, but maybe, but like, you know, even because if you are in a chat with with 2, 3, 4 people who are fanning the flames of hate or defaming someone or threatening them, you're complicit. If you don't leave and you participate, you're complicit, and we can identify you. I understand we got a lot of problems on the streets, but do you know how many people are being tormented on the internet? You know how many people die because of the internet? It's ridiculous. I'm not going to die because of the internet. I'm going to change the internet. Because I've seen what it's done to kids. There are kids out there now who have taken puberty blockers and are castrated and are now becoming adults and are not going to don't know what to do. We got kids out here completely alienating their parents because it's called going no contact, right? And for what reasons? Name one. Just name one. Some parents don't even know. I have a group of parents I talk to about this, and some don't even know. They don't even know. Don't know. I don't know why. Nobody knows. But I know that I raised men who communicate and have the balls to confront another man if he's wrong. Yeah. I don't raise cowards. Because if you're a man and you're a coward in this world, you're going to be taken full advantage of by anyone. If you're easy to manipulate, you can get put into a position very easily by somebody where they got you. And if you're afraid to confront somebody, you're going to be afraid of everything for the rest of your life. You can always confront the thing that makes you the most miserable. Always confront it. If it's a person, if it's an animal, if it's a stick in the yard, if it's the garbage piling up, you always do the hard thing, because it takes more balls to do the hard thing than it does to just sit and ignore people. Ignoring people is a coward's way of getting out of accountability. It is. Oh, I got you there. See, Shadow, that's why I think I named it justified and unjustified. There is justified no contact, and there's unjustified. Like if somebody did something inappropriate, yeah, it's 100% justified. It's the cases of, where it's unknown for such a long period of time, and then eventually you find out, and it's so incredibly stupid that nobody wants to talk about it, that you look back at all those days and months that you stressed yourself out, and you want them all back because it was a waste of time, because you cried over nothing, you stressed over nothing, you felt rejected over nothing. Right? Rejection's a poignant emotion, or emotion to feel. I guess it's an emotion. If you guys notice my name, by the way, nobody said a word about my name that I noticed. Bueller, man. Maybe I'm not that funny after all. now you see it. Now you see it. I started off with that. Fucking hashtag truth in the chat, guys. That's right. A lie can destroy a life. I'm putting that. I'm gonna patent. I'm gonna copyright that. A lie can destroy a life. I am James Gandolfini's Merkin. That's not Merkin. That's Merkin. I'm his pubic wig, dude. I hate it. I hate sex scenes in any show or movie, especially in The Sopranos. James Gandolfini's a great actor and shit, but him getting cozy with hot Russian bitches just didn't do it for me. It was kind of like the opposite of a boner. It was like an innie. It was quite literally when somebody says go fuck yourself, that's what happens. But yeah, I mean, you could show the beginning of people kissing and then fade away and then fade into the next scene. But if you're trying to establish something, but I just think that sex scenes are just fucking stupid. I've seen some gratuitous ones too, man, in these shows I don't know, some series I'm watching or just finished watching, even Game of Thrones. It's titties flopping around everywhere, people getting banged. It's Jesus Christ. This is a snuff porn film. Ugh. The Merkin is lurking. Hey, if you guys would like to contribute and support our legal fund, below are our Cash Apps and PayPals. Yes, we would appreciate it. I do appreciate any help that you guys give us. And yes, I did donate 5 memberships yesterday, and yes, it did cost $25, but I get private contributions, and I always give back to the community in one way or another. But we're coming up where we need to start doing a fucking giveaway. We talked about it. We didn't do it. It's because I'm not in the fucking rotation of doing it all the time. We need to do a giveaway. And I think, this is just what I think, we can either do it during a stream, or you can go to my locals page, which is not in the description for some reason, or maybe it is, and join the Discord, and we could do it that way. By the way, I do make custom shirts, custom clothing. So if anybody is like looking for something that they want made, hit me up. I've been doing it for people at the shop. If they need anything custom made, should be able to get it to you within a week. This one job I did came in 7 days. Well, I don't understand this 5 people coming in and out. Like, what do you, I don't understand. What do you want? What do you need to interest you to just stay put? Like you're like a kid with ADD, people flipping between multiple streams. I don't know who else is live. Every time I go live, there's like, and good for everybody's success, like Gigi and Belinda and everybody. Hey, that's where I was. Enjoy it. And I hope you can hang on to it because it's hard. But yeah. Is it NEGZNN.live? Yeah, go to NEGZNN.live, join for $2.99, join my Discord, guys. We'll make a decision on that giveaway soon. Because I may want to give away an ounce of fucking silver or something. I may want to give away something that actually has some value. I don't know. Oh, you do jump from spot to spot? I'm guilty of that. I've done that in the past. I just don't. I don't know. I watch Clara sometimes. Sometimes the topics are just, hard for me. Like these topics where the perpetual victimhood of a certain community, I can't hear it anymore. It's ridiculous. I mean, like, I don't understand why people would want to raise their children to be a perpetual victim and not try to rise above. But the things that they are saying are imaginary, are antiquated, and are a grift. And that is the exception I take to it. And it being passed down to anybody makes me sad. It makes me sad. Don't get it wrong. There are Caucasians out there with their own grifts too. But it's just, I think it's lost its momentum 100% now with the Subway guy, with the Penny guy being acquitted of murder. He didn't murder anybody. He saved people. And I don't understand. I've never turned on the news and heard, seen this Caucasian in a suit and a tie and a kindergarten graduation cap. He was such a good boy. No, they'd be like, yeah, he was probably on a bunch of drugs and got what he deserved. I've heard that on the news. But it is appalling to watch people try to grift $1 off of these deaths. It's still sad. That guy didn't want to kill that guy. He's got to live with that. Any of y'all ever killed anybody? Put a 1 in the chat if you ever killed anybody. FBI is probably watching, but it's all right. We don't know what it's like to kill somebody. You don't. I can't imagine waking up every day knowing that you took a life, but you had to do it to save other people, but you still took a life. And I saw that picture too, that there was there's another guy that there was a question because Penny had him down on the ground, and then there was a black man assisting him, and they only charged Penny. The other man didn't get charged. And then they tried to turn this guy into Mr. Floyd, Mr. Gold Casket. Insane. I'm glad I'm being cremated and just fucking whatever. Spill me on the floor. I don't even care. Whatever. I'm not going to do reprints. I'm going to do... always watching, Wazowski. Always watching. Look at all the people leave. They're like, oh crap, I don't want to be seen here while he's talking truth. That's why people hate me, is because, listen, nobody's beyond reproach, guys. Nobody's beyond reproach. You know, one year it's one group, the next year it's the other group. But I'm going to tell you right now, it is complete inherent bigotry to infantilize any group of people to the point where they could be on crack cocaine, assaulting old people, and abducting 7-year-olds. You need your fucking heads checked. And I noticed that New York City has not been looted or burned because everybody knows what's up. All right, hang on just a second here. I gotta order some socks. Because they didn't include them. They just didn't include them. And I don't know why. Jesus. But I mean, what I don't understand is why didn't they arrest the other guy that assisted? I don't understand. I mean, everybody knows why. And this is what kills me is to point it out is to be something abhorrently obtuse and evil. Really? Okay. Because every little thing that I do gets pointed out. So I just want to point that out anyway. Look at everybody run. Run, rabbit. Run, rabbit. Jesus Christ, what the God damn it, son of a bitch. I'm the fat one. Okay. We'll hunt lobbits. Yeah, there you go. Come back. I'm done talking about race. It's okay. I figured since every talk show all day long, that's all they talk about is race. And then even a woman told a white man to keep Dr. Martin Luther King's name out of his mouth. I'm going to show you that clip in a minute because it was astounding. It was one of the best things I've ever seen. It really was about 10 of my. Okay, cool. Got the order resent. Stupid company forgot to send my 2 pairs of socks, which is a problem because things need to be done before Christmas. I guess I can find it in my history. Hang on. It was absurd. It was absurd what she said, and this chick looks like bald Steve Harvey, man. I mean, like female Steve Harvey, bald Steve Harvey. What's wrong with me?
I'm a therapist and a wellness coach. Let's get
The heck?
started.
I can hear this chick talking. I didn't mean to unfreeze it. Where'd it go? Where's it at? Hey, did you guys know that Jack Black was seriously addicted to cocaine when he was a teenager? Did you know that? Now you do. When he was 14, he's a cokehead. Where is it? Oh, man, come on. I went too far.
Wait till the end to see how he destroys her argument.
Please keep Dr. Martin Luther King
There we go. I found it. You guys probably hear it though, right? Yeah.
Jr.'s name out of your mouths. When
Wait till the end to see how he destroys her argument.
Please keep Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s name out of your mouths. When he was a proud and unapologetic black man fighting for equality for black Americans and all marginalized people.
I appreciate my Democrat colleague for exemplifying exactly the kind of oppression of freedoms that we're referencing. How about we'll quote whoever we want to quote? How about that's my First Amendment right? Thank you, good lady, for once again exemplifying the type of oppression that we stand against. You know I'm right.
How long have I been saying it?
I'm right.
How long?
Who do you agree with?
Who do I agree with? What do you mean, who do I agree with? This woman just sat there and made a racist remark, and we're supposed to agree with her? I thought we were supposed to be against racism. So why is it okay for one group and not another group? It's not okay for anybody. That's what I'm saying. You keep Dr. Martin Luther King's name out your mouth. Really, a great civil rights leader who was gunned down by some racist. We're not allowed to quote him anymore. We're not allowed to quote him anymore. Let's talk about why every Dr. Martin Luther King Boulevard in almost every state or city is the worst street. I mean, like, I don't get it. I don't get it. It's open bigotry. Open bigotry. And all I've ever done, and this is a message out to somebody if they're watching this. All I've ever done is I've sat here and pointed it out. And if pointing it out is bigoted or racist, you're wrong. That's it. There is no argument. You're wrong. You want me to say certain words because of my race. That's borderline Jim Crow. I've been saying it for months. Just give me my own water fountain. But the momentum has changed. Trump's coming, baby. Trump's coming. And he's going to fix shit. He's going to fix all of this. Laugh at me if you want, but he is. He's going to fix every single bit of it because there was a lot of damage done. Lots of people died. Lots of mental illness was perpetuated. My town went from no homeless problem during Joe Biden's campaign to, his term to hundreds. So, I don't know. I'm hoping that Indiana will get some help. I'm hoping that Indiana will legalize weed. Will you guys get off the pot? Everybody around us has legalized it. People are dying from fentanyl. People are taking opiates for pain and arthritis instead of being able to smoke a doobie and relax. You don't know what you're talking about. They should have everybody in the chambers smoke a doobie and then vote. Especially all these old guys, these fossils up there. They're like, well, I've been in the Senate for 481 years. Yeah, get off the pot and get on the pot, baby. What's up? I have no faith in the government. Going forward, I am going to trust the judicial system to be fair. But after, you got to understand, being an American and watching what they did to Donald Trump and then just to turn around and just dump all of it, They had rampant crime on the streets, and they focused on prosecuting Donald Trump instead of keeping New Yorkers safe. And the Supreme Court threw all the shit out. Ouch. Millions of dollars blown just because they didn't want him to be president. Why? Why don't you want him to be president so bad? I don't understand. Try to kill him twice? That's the guy I want to be president because he has got some kind of power that they do not have. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because a lot of us have just been like lemmings, just marching in line in formation, and Donald Trump is able to get people to actually stand up for themselves, to not take bullshit from anybody. You know, to think about your country first. I understand we have allies and we've got to give them aid, but for fuck's sake, dude, there's a girl, there's a homeless girl sleeping in a corner of a shopping center here. Why? Why? A border dispute. A border dispute. All of you have the power to shut it down right now. You just send a whole bunch of he ain't gonna nuke shit. You send everybody to the border where it began. You say, go home. We're done doing this shit. Okay? Because $1 billion builds a lot of industry and homes. $1 billion, you could build a small town. You could. You could build a little downtown with some shops. You could build, 40, 50 houses. Threatened because I support Donald Trump. How am I supposed to look at Joe Biden and be like, yeah, that's my guy? I mean, like, I'm Gen X. Like, why the fuck would I like some 85-year-old kid sniffing weirdo? Why? Why would that be my choice? I want the guy that's going to tell me, fuck that shit. It is time to kick ass. Take names later, motherfucker. Just stand up for yourself. Stand up for fucking America. This is your country. If you don't love it, leave it. And I mean that. I mean, the other day I was like looking at different places to move because like this place is on fire. And I looked at Iceland and they have like a 31% tax bracket. I was like, fuck that. I don't even know what I could do to pay 31% tax. And if you could get a place that's $600 a month rent, I can imagine what kind of neighborhood it's in. So I just said, nah, I'm going to stay here and try to make my country a better place instead of running away. Yeah, buddy. Joe, he's fucking old. They pump him full of so much drugs. I after his term, he'll probably be gone in a year or two. I can't believe they wanted to put him in office again. How old is he? I didn't ask how many times he shit his pants today. How old is he? You see what I'm saying? Like, nah, man. Nah. There was a point where my grandmother got so old that her car got a flat. I left it flat. I did. So she wouldn't drive it because she could not fucking drive. She was stubborn. People get older. They want to do the same shit they were doing 30 years, 40 years before. They can't. So the tire got flat. I don't know how it got flat. Seriously, don't know. I just never fixed it. Oops. Well, what do you need? I'll bring it right over. Take her out to eat, shit. I'll drive. Sometimes people get too old to do shit. Not do shit. Do shit. God, that's like when somebody says, but fucking, I know Trump's old, but Trump is coherent. Trump has his faculties together. That guy is an alien. I'm sorry, Donald Trump's an alien. But this is what I think is going to happen. Trump's going to serve his term because he's going to be too old for a second term. It'll be too much for him. He's going to use this term, and then J.D. Vance may take over. midterm. You don't know. But I think that JD Vance is going to run in the Trump's going to not run for re-election. JD Vance is going to run and win, and we're going to have 12 years of Republican rule in the United States. And I think that's the only thing that will fix things. I don't like it any more than anybody else, but I sure as fuck don't like war. I don't like suffering. I don't like people being able to get away with crimes just because they look a certain way. I think it's fucked up. I think it's messed up that people were allowed to steal $999 worth of stuff and not go to jail. In Indiana, you fucking scratch your butthole and sniff your fingers. They fucking want to give you the fucking death sentence. Put him in the electric chair. He sniffed his fingers after he scratched his ass. Oh, really? I thought you could only serve 2 consecutive terms. I don't know. Elon's kid? Yeah, I don't know. Not about that. I just know he has like a lot of kids with a lot of weird people. I don't know. He's an alien. Elon Musk is an alien. He is. Look at him. He has 12 kids. Wow. Yeah. I was talking to a guy the other day. He had 10 fucking kids. I said, what in the hell? How do you even afford anything? It's like baloney every day. It's I don't have to feed anybody but my son, my 16-year-old, and he's filling out and he's growing up and he eats a lot. I am a robot alien named Elon Musk. Let me impregnate you. Me. Oh, you got pregnant. Ha 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 ha. So let's see what celebrities have moved. Let's see what celebrities have left the country. I'm very curious. We need filters, and we're going to sort it by this month. Let's see here. Hang on, I'm trying to find it. There's so many. They just made it so obvious. They just made it so obvious. Yeah, Jay-Z's he's boned. He's boned. How did he think that this was going to happen? And he wasn't going to be charged. I mean, he's complicit. This is what's going to happen. What Hollywood started out as, 100 years ago or whatever, is going to implode. Too much controversy, too much fucking grape, and all this other shit they do. Too much child exploitation, and a new brand of movie makers are going to be up and coming on Netflix and streaming services, because they're the ones that are going to give you the money to produce the film that you want to produce. And it won't be like the pretentious Hollywood. It won't be like that. There won't be these, you can have an award show, you want to give somebody a pat on the back for making a good movie. I'm all for it. But spare the expense. Not spare no expense, spare the expense. Get some pizza, get some Coke, and if you want to spend the money, spend it on the award, right? I don't know. But a more humble, artistic. I'm sick of seeing how violent and drug addicted and all this other shit these celebrities become. I will not work with somebody who's difficult. If I'm going to work on a set and somebody comes on my set and starts getting all fucking bitey with me, you're replaceable, because we're building a new Hollywood. We're making new celebrities. You guys are done. You're done. Done. Let's see here. Ellen DeGeneres. I know she left. Let's see here. Who else left? There was somebody else that left. Who else left? Oh yeah. Fucking Leo. There are some really talented movie makers who have a hard time breaking into the mainstream. That's what I'm saying. I think that the best way to go, because see, like Netflix and these streaming services, you can request that they play your movie. Like if you've ever been looking through Amazon Prime's the best to go to, or Tubi, and you find these obscure movies. Like I look for them. I find these obscure movies they're amateur movies, and you can get them put on there. You just got to submit it, and okay, fuck it. They run a couple ads, and you get it. It'll take a lot of plays for you to get any money, but people will see your name, they'll see your work. I want to make a horror movie after we get Loyalty Week done. I've been directing and creating Loyalty Week in my head for months in between breakdowns. And Steve H, who Steve is, I wonder if Beyonce is still crazy in love. I doubt it. Yeah. I bet she was the well-known celebrity standing there with Jay-Z and Diddy. Allegedly. I mean, it could all be untrue. That's why I hate, he's probably did some stuff because Diddy did. He's close to Diddy. But a lot of people get falsely accused of things, and then they get their day in court. Now, if they come out with a criminal charge against him, then we'll know they're serious. But if it's just going to be a lawsuit, then justified, right on. I've been watching a little bit of movies here and there. You know what I like to watch, though, when I'm at the shop and I'm not doing anything, or even if I am, I watch a lot of Soprano YouTube shorts. I love the Sopranos YouTube shorts. I don't know why. But it's like my algorithm, I'm like. It's all gangster shit. And I just love it. Like some of those shorts are a minute long, I sitting there, I got to put together necklaces and do all this stuff. I actually do work at my job. And it's good stuff. How many of these other commentators out here have a job? I have a job too. I haven't been able to say that in like 15 years. I'm not ashamed to admit that either, because I did just fine. Stayed off welfare. But like, do any of them like have like, full-time jobs? I'm just curious. It's obvious they don't. Anybody raging, Frenchie? Oh, Frenchie. I need proof of life of that cat. We're asking you. You kidnapped the cat, essentially. We need proof of life, because you had one of your dogs put to sleep because it was going to be depressed because the other dog was gone. And then you kidnapped this cat. We need proof of life. We're asking for it. Yo mama has a job. Good for him. He still needs to stop talking about me if he's going to get everything wrong. If I didn't have any morals, I'd just come out here with a bunch of fake stories about him, but that ain't right. Two wrongs don't make a right. Doesn't her brother and wife have it? I'm sorry. I have what? Yeah, well, I was wrong. Her dog was sick. I thought one was sick, and then she put the other one down because it was depressed. She had 2 dogs. She went from 2 dogs to 0 dogs. Her brother and wife have it, the other dog. Oh no, I'll try to get the receipt to back up my claim. Anyway, what's the cat's name? Anyway, the cat that you got from the woman you're stalking and harassing in a criminal manner, we need proof of life of the cat. I know there's only 27 people here, but it doesn't matter because I've seen how, wow. I've seen how vigilantly people stalk me on here. Yeah. I see how it is. Any mention of me, comments, it's like, wow. That's some fan behavior, baby. BBJ, we need proof of life. I'm going to start asking for proof of life every day. I'm going to start making a TikTok every day with a picture of BBJ. And I'm going to ask for proof of life, proof of life, proof of life. Because you have it and you won't. If you don't want to be on camera, just hold the cat to the side. I mean, I understand. It's been, I gained weight, goes up and down, it's all right. Are they initials for something? I have no idea. Bob's Big Johnson? I don't know. No, Anna, no one tells me anything. Well, no one listens to me, so I get an example almost twice a week of where I've told people something, they didn't listen, and now they have to they fucked around and now they have to find out. Sick of it. I'm like XYZ. Oh, I'm gonna do ABC. Okay, well, enjoy. Bob's Big Johnson. That's what I said, right? I thought I said that. Unless I'm roboting. And the other cat getting out, dude, it's a cat. I'm not trying to downplay it, but like, dogs are way more important than cats. I'm sorry. But dogs have more personality, and cats, they have claws and teeth and stuff, right? And I'm very allergic. And I understand cats, but like, nah, dude, that ain't it. Dogs, cats. And what does everybody want a 400-pound woman to do? Go sprinting? The cat could be anywhere in 3 seconds. A dog, you can pretty much, yeah. Fortunately, we've got 2 dogs that don't run off. They're always mad anyway, Beth. They look for rage stuff. Yeah, all my content has just been rage bait, guys. That's all I've been doing is just rage baiting cat ladies and just cat ladies. Well, no, there's no, if you love your cat, that's fine. But I love my dogs, and I just don't understand why people were like, "Why aren't you looking for your cat?" Hey, motherfucker, you care so much, get on a plane. Spirit Airlines is a good one, I hear, and go fly down there, wherever, up there, over there, and help find the cat since you care so much. Why don't you make a flyer and post it in one of the groups in that city since you stalk her? Jesus Christ. You're a bird lady. Everybody knows about the bird. Bird, bird, bird. Bird is the word. I want to get a bird. Whiz Bud. Mickey Rourke and Iron Man. I want my bud. Not fucking chickens. Yeah, I mean, one day, chickens and goats and shit. I've said that for years. That one day I will have a place where I can have chickens and goats and shit. Just gotta wait. Yeah, why didn't they go search for rarity? If they cared so much, take your cars. Some of you live nearby. I mean, Jesus Christ. Help. Bitching doesn't help. Well, I'm going to make her feel bad for it. That'll help her find her cat. I'm going to make her feel bad for it. Why are you going to feed her cat for 100 pounds, lady? You guys are so cute. Hey, what's up, No Name? How you doing? I'm sorry. Cats are just as important as dogs. I just really, 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 really love my dogs. I really, really, really love Pebbles and Bug. They are my buddies. They are. They both follow me around. They both know when I'm like upset and they come sit by me, or Bug does really. He's like the nurse. Pebbles goes under the couch and just kind of, she's old. She's almost 10 years old. So Bug's only 5. So, and yeah, we don't deserve dogs, man. We don't. They are the greatest empaths on this planet. I think cats are aliens. I do. And I want to know something. We basically, if you want to say we came from the primordial ooze, as it were, then why are we allergic to anything? It seems like through millions and millions of years of evolution, maybe billions, I don't know how long man's been around. I'm not an evolutionist or a historian. It seems like that we would have evolved not being allergic to shit, like cats. I get around, it depends on the cats. Some people, their cats don't bother me at all. Some people's cats make it hard for me to breathe. It feels like there's pressure on my chest. It's something that I've been told by a doctor that, if I'm not careful, could kill me. If I go into somebody's house and they got a poodle and a cat, I could die from respiratory failure, not being able to breathe. But I got an inhaler. God damn it, I ripped it. I got an inhaler. You have a toy poodle? My grandma did. It was mean. It was mean, but it wasn't its fault. Somebody that died tormented it with a bell. Used to ring a bell and chase it through the house. I was like, well, that's mean. So she stayed under the couch and just like this is how fucked up this dog was. I was like, shit, 10 years old, and I'm sitting there. I'm watching Saturday Night Main Event. I got my fries. My grandma's always hooking me up with food, fries and something else, ketchup and mustard. And I was getting ready to watch this, and I was like tapping my feet, and I got excited. That dog went from being under the couch in my face, and I was like, and my grandma came in and missing, and I was like, there's mustard and ketchup and fries everywhere. We're not coming to Boston. It'll be a little bit. We can come to Boston though. Cool. We're gonna wait till it's warmer before we travel. I've never been to Boston. I've never been to Boston. Yeah, look at that there. That's not even a Boston accent, Bostonian. Dude, you know what? Get out of there. Get out of there. No trees allowed. There we go. You know that noise? Everybody should. It's legal. Farming bill, hemp. That's all it is. We call it diet weed. But you can't tell the difference, really. Be honest with you. And then they're trying to make it federally illegal. I'm like, wow, Indiana is such a great place to live. You have so many options of things to do to escape the fucking brutal reality of poverty. I know it's a long stream, isn't it? I thought I'd sit here for a while and see if any more people come in. It's 10, 11. Changed our hours. Winter hours are 12 to 6. We really don't need to be there till 8. So hopefully this will encourage people to come in greater volume on some days. So, but it is winter. It gets dark early. And when it warms up, like really in the summer in Indiana, the sun stays up to like 9:30. So like then we can have some days where we're open from like, noon to 10 or noon to 9. There's something like that where we kind of have extended hours. Check it out, see if it works. If it doesn't, just go back 12 to 6. Fuck it. I'm going to be chilling in the air conditioning anyway. Yeah, Pebbles. Here, come here. Pebbles, come here. Come here, Pebbles. Oh, baby. Come here. Daddy. Oh, yes, baby. There she is. She's fuzzy. She's fuzzy wuzzy. But it hasn't really been that bad of a winter yet, so... She needs a haircut. She's constantly snorting whenever I pet her. She loves this attention because, she doesn't have to compete with Bug. Listen to her. Yep. You guys would know if anything happened to Pebbles. You guys would know. 1, by my infinite sadness, and 2, I would let you know because she's family. She's family. She came into my life at a very, very difficult time and made my life better, didn't you? That's right. That's good, girl. Whoa, hang on. She is a good dog. She can be annoying. I'm not gonna lie, with her bark, but that's about it. I mean, and it's just because it's a high pitched, different type of bark, and she barks more than Bug. She only looks so big because she's so floofy. I don't get her hair cut often in the winter, and I know I gotta get them eye boogers out later. I'm sorry. I gotta get her hair cut. She's a little bit too much of a Floofenstein right now. Look at her. Floof. Yeah, she's a good dog. So's Bug. And there's some other dogs around here. There's dogs everywhere. I pulled up the other day, and there was this dog. There was a dog. There was a dog. There was a dog. There was a dog. I was like, oh, cool, right on. There's dogs everywhere. Please don't attack me. What's your dog? What's your dog? Boxers demand attention. Oh, yeah. You think our pets pick us? It's pretty like, I guess, with Bug, like, see a shadow, like he became like my friend pretty quick. And like, and kind of got attached to me really quick. And it's taken a little bit for these two to learn boundaries, but they sleep next to each other, and they know how to. They've learned how to work together. She's not getting trumped on and stuff like that. She only weighs like 12 pounds, 12, 13 pounds. Yeah, right, my baby. I love you so much. You're so, man, maybe you are getting a little fatter. I don't know. But Bug's like a horse when he tromps. I love you, Tail. You're so good, Tail. Who's baby? Baby. You went out? There you go. Go ahead. You go that way. Dogs are cool. James Gandolfini's Merkin. Oh my God, isn't it great? Maybe I'll do a 12-hour stream about nothing. I feel like doing a 12-hour stream about nothing. I'm just going to sit here for 12 hours and put on chapstick. You dare me? Time is at 10. I started at 9, 8:30. What time did I start? 8. God. So I'd have to go till 8 in the morning. Phew. Then go to work. Phew. Yeah, I'll just put a loop of me on here talking shit, and then I'll be asleep on the floor. And then every couple hours I'll get up and change it to my profile picture. And then come back on. Such a weird place for a hot water heater. I think I'm going to get another one and have it put in the utility room. There's like a lot of space that could be, it's just, I don't know. You tried a sleep stream years ago. You weren't about it. Nah, I didn't feel comfortable. I didn't know if I'd like scratch my ass in my sleep or get a boner and be playing with, anything had happened. You don't know what you do in your sleep. They got these apps now that'll tell you farted 14 times. I'm like, I know. I was awake for 10 of them. I'd be farting. Yeah, I'm a farter. Oh, that one slipped out. I didn't get it either. I'm like, I'm going to go gift this person that's unconscious. And now they fake it, or they did for a little bit on TikTok, but it was like they did this thing where they're like, wake me up. And you would give them a gift and it would make this loud blaring noise and make the lights flash. And they'd be like, yeah, I ain't about that life. I don't want people to stare at me while I'm asleep. Glad I don't drink anymore, because that would be embarrassing. And I'm glad I don't emotionally stream anymore. It's an odd talent. I can sleep and stream at the same time. What? Really? I once peed 2 streams. Does that count? Mini a rerun. Oh no, I hope this doesn't get demonetized. That's why, we 2 hours and 19 minutes. We can definitely put some ads on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Nah, man, jelly, man. Where y'all at? Where is everybody? It's me, it's Negs. Where you at? Come on, man. I mean, like, I got the link here and shit. I mean, I figured, this is what I don't understand. Everybody got so much to say on Twitter, but you won't say it to me. That's all I want. It's like somebody that has some balls. Have some balls. And on. Okay, great. So far, so good. All right. Giggity, giggity. They are sleeping. People, yeah, they're doing sleep streams. They're doing sleep streams. And Russ, I had to ban you. You can't come up anymore. You creep everybody out. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not really sorry, but I'm just, as a courtesy, I'm saying that out of habit. But that might be a good indicator for you to make some changes. So, there we go. There we go. There we go. What is the stream next? Good Lord. Let's see here. Somebody's taking a bite. Oh, okay. How parents react to no contact. No contact, kids involved. How to do no contact when you have kids together. What? Well, yeah, you don't want to have contact with the ex. You don't need to do that. What do you mean going no contact with parents? A therapist discusses the growing trend of going no contact with their parents. They explain that the general differences. I want to hear this.
Watch a video together.
I want to hear this. I don't believe that any of these people agrees in what they say they do, but you think he truly likes me? I know he does, and I don't mind talking to him. But like, he just, you know, it's I share this channel, and there has to be compromises. So, you know, not a big deal. No skin off my circumcision.
And then chat about it.
When I felt like I was a good mom and did everything I can to show my kids I loved them and be there for them. And why does this generation of kids just turn their back on their parents? Like, I would never treat my parents the way some of the things have been said to me.
Because they're fucking dicks. Unappreciative, selfish, self-centered, narcissistic dicks. That's it.
For my kids. And I don't understand it. And it's everywhere. It's absolutely everywhere. My friends, patients.
Oh, shit. We got 10. Uh-oh. We gonna get some people outed. Nikki, Vicky Little Red Dress, Capone Boxer, Faith Ludlow, Chantel's Maid, Aaron Tay, Mia Wallace, Dark Ninja, Bex, and Tommy Piackles. Piackles. What's up, Dark Ninja? I haven't seen your fucking name in so long, dude. I thought you were dead. Anyway, thank you guys. No Name has been a huge supporter, so I'm going to need y'all to show some mad love in the chat. There's some mad love in the chat, or everybody has to mop the floor with their tongue tonight. Because we're a cult. I tell people what to do. I have armies. Dark Ninja's on a break. Well, whatever. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and get a problem. I was willing to squash all my beefs with people who were willing to just leave it alone. I'm not into this shit anymore. I'm not. So why even, like, you know, perpetuate it? I got no argument. I got nothing to say. You know what I'm saying? Like, just all the beefs I have are stupid. They were really, 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 really dumb. But No Name, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Let's get back to this.
That I see at work, story after story after story after, my daughter doesn't talk to me, my son doesn't talk to me, like just so much entitlement these days.
Ha!
And it's just so
Told you. Entitled dicks, brats. I don't know how else to explain it. Everybody thinks because they're your children, you need to be gentle and use language that is affirming. Yeah, you're being a dick. Is that enough affirmation?
so fucking heartbreaking. Like it was so much easier when the kids were little. Like I just didn't think that my life would be where it's at 50. I love my kids, but why is it this hard? Why? Where's the respect at for parents and
None.
appreciation for all they've done?
Nothing.
Your
None.
entire life. Like, I don't get it.
Concept of no contact has been going around a lot lately, and so I want to answer this question genuinely as a therapist who sees a lot of clients who have got no contact. I think one of the largest things to recognize as a parent of an adult child is generational differences. So for starters, people who are in their 50s, 60s plus who have adult children grew up in a generation where it was very common for children to be seen, not heard, and respect equated to just acquiescing to whatever your parents kind of wanted.
I didn't do that. I my kids were allowed to be noisy. My kids were allowed to be kids. I allowed my kids to be kids. There were rules, there were limits, there were boundaries, but they could be kids. It wasn't like, no. And they respected me. I get called sir. I get called father. Shit like that, right?
Respect often meant you didn't have boundaries, whereas mental health now is and continues to be a large conversation. Relationships with family members are one of the only relationships in which people are encouraged to make amends with people who have been abusive towards them, who have manipulated them, who consistently cross their boundaries, etc. And as a therapist, what I often hear in these situations is that from the child's perspective, there's been multiple attempts to repair the relationship, to explain the behaviors that are hurtful and harmful, yet the behaviors continue. Or there just isn't the safety or the space to have that discussion in the first place.
I know in some situations that's bullshit. Every situation with this type of thing is different. It's different. And I don't know why, like that woman telling her story, I don't know what happened. But people go out and speculate and say whatever the hell they want because that's what they get off on. They get off on tragedy pimps. And it's not always like that. Sometimes the people involved don't even know why.
Another thing is that in terms of gratitude for the parent taking care of them or just, creating them, I think that is often seen to be synonymous with, I will have a relationship with you forever. Someone can be grateful for their life, for their parents, for the efforts that have been made, but also decide that a relationship is not for them. And that isn't to take away from the fact that I imagine that it's very hurtful for parents. And at the same time, what also exists is that it's hurtful typically for the child to go no contact as well.
Is it what about when they're adults? Because, we're not talking about children here. We're talking about adults. What about adults that you help? What about adults that you help and have created opportunity for? I'm not even just talking about kids. I'm talking about like people I've known for years. Any relationship like that. Like I the amount of relationships I've lost over the last year is devastating. And a lot of people on the internet want to think it's because I'm a dick, I'm this, I'm that. No, you have no idea. Everything you know is a lie.
But while it's typically hurtful for the child to make that decision, it's also often safer from their perspective to make that decision. I think it's important to come to these conversations with the sense that you are not entitled to a relationship with your child just because you birthed them. It is something that you have to earn and continuously work at. And that goes both ways.
I get what you're saying, but not every parent that is in this situation is doing that. Now, you're responsible to raise your child until they're 18. That's your responsibility. You shouldn't ask for a fucking ticker tape parade for that. Now, when they're an adult and you start doing shit for them, now you can complain. In my opinion, you can complain. Like, I have done so much for you. Financially, emotionally, morally, I have dropped everything I was doing for you anytime you needed it. As an adult, you know, then I think you could be a little upset, but you can't let it define you. And that girl seemed very detached from her parents. Maybe she didn't have a good relationship with her parents, but I mean, like, I just don't hear of kids going, like, if it's a toxic environment and there's abuse and shit like that, yeah, that would be justified. But when there's not, why? That's good, No Name. That's very noble of you. It takes a lot of commitment and heartbreak. Families aren't what they used to be. When my great grandparents were alive, we had great big gatherings and everything, and then when they died, it just stopped. And I kind of wanted to slip in and take over that role of having the big Christmases and the big cookouts every year and all this stuff. And I mean, I'm still going to have cookouts and parties and shit. I don't give a fuck. But yeah, you can lose everything overnight. And one of the things I'm concerned about is Tracy, go take a bath. The thing I'm concerned about is the level of vitriol and hate that people are getting because of lies. I would just ask all of you who are viewers that feel like you want to participate in the ruination of anyone, don't do it. Because everybody thinks they're anonymous on the internet, and the fact of the matter is you're not. And I would just suggest being a what do you call it? What do you call it? Spectator. Keep being a spectator. Don't get in the ring, motherfucker. As Axl Rose said, stay in the stands. And when nobody cares on the internet what anybody's going through. Dude, people watch me share a GoFundMe just to have a funeral for my son, and they fucking attacked me for it. They didn't give a fuck. They just came in and said, I'm fucking scared and still. Okay, whatever. It's not even in my name. So I don't know how I'm doing that. So whatever. I was just going to pass it around my family because I have enough people I know that are wealthy that it would have been paid for. But yeah, thanks to the NEGZNN, he had a nice funeral. And I still got like brutalized every day. It was like they didn't care. I didn't care. I just went through one of the worst fucking things that a parent could go through, and they wanted content. I know the consider the source thing doesn't fly with me because people shouldn't say shit like that at all. I don't care who you are. If you have a low IQ, if you're inbred, it doesn't matter. You should have accountability for the things that you say and you do. And when they're heinous and when they're gross, you should be held accountable. And I don't know, whatever the accountability is, losing viewers, losing subscribers, shouldn't be encouraged. But there are people out there that encourage this stuff. And I'm telling you, stay in the stands. Just stay there. Eat your popcorn. Sip your diet soda as if it matters. But don't come down here with the gladiators. I keep telling everybody it's the end of an era. You know, I appreciate that. No name. I'm sorry that they did that to my son. I'm sorry that they did that to my son. It was disgusting. It was disgusting. And I thought people would be like, you know, shocked, but a lot of people just, I don't even know. I guess they were just afraid of MFW. Turned around and just kept going year after year after year after year up to where we're at now. We wouldn't be here today had his death not been made public by a fucking live streamer. Because I wasn't going to say anything to anybody. I was just going to disappear for a few days, and I was going to share it amongst my family and see what I could scrounge together, because at that time I was very broke. But after that, I said, fuck it, I shared it. And people still talk about the tombstone. What's wrong with you? It's been 8 years. People calling funeral homes. And people viewed it as normal, as entertainment, as content. People and I'm going back to, people don't give a fuck how you feel. They don't. They don't care how you feel. They don't care if you have cancer. If they don't care if you unalive yourself in Minecraft or whatever. They don't care. They have no morals. Yeah, it was TT. It was old titties, old tits. So, can't hold a grudge forever. Yeah, not having a moral compass is a problem for me, because I believe in morality, and I don't believe in hurting people, and I don't get my jollies from seeing people hurt. And I most certainly wouldn't want to participate in some behavior that would turn somebody into like a rogue agent or something, where they just, because some people can't handle this shit. Sometimes I can't. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Nothing, because nothing makes sense anymore that anybody says. Nothing makes sense. It's all absolutely unnecessary and stupid. It is. So anyway, you know how the conversations go here. Someone will, hey Al, you gonna review this? I know you can't I've been riffing for over an hour, 2.5 hours. I haven't had to have a video up or anything. I'm just sitting here riffing. Why don't you do that? Fire up a stream, 2.5 hours. You can review videos for the first hour. The next hour and a half, just riff. Just talk to people. Have a conversation. A conversation that takes intelligence. Where you have to look at people and be like, I don't know. Maybe I'll review your review. Will it be 3 hours long? Will it be 3 hours long? She can't talk about her cornfield for an hour. Well, you got to have a life to have something to talk about. I consider being a business owner, I consider that having a life, because you know a lot of people, you meet a lot of people, and a lot of people come back around over and over again. So Yeah, I count that. I count that as a life. And you know, I got a girlfriend, I got a kid, I got 2 dogs. I got a life. I am. I'm taking her up to 3 hours. Just an even 3 hours. With 33 people the whole time. Yeah, content other than us would be a nice change, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it? I mean, like, because, you know, I mean, I can't say much on anything, but like, if you're entertained by what you see, I can't imagine what your household is like. I can't. I can't imagine how you treat people. I can't imagine the things you say to people. I can't imagine you even functioning in society. So, but from what I understand in that in girl world, it's like mostly like women in their mid to late 70s. So, all their husbands had a widowmaker at the same time. Got all this money. Yeah, thanks again, No Name. That was nice. 10. Y'all welcome. Get hooked up every time you come here. Yeah. Like, get a lot of people are on here spending their social security checks. Even me. Cyrax. Fucking what's his name? Gorlick Head. Why would you come in here and do that? That's fucking so rude. I'm telling. We're gonna have so much fun writing up all this bullshit that people do and what we think that the action should be to handle it. Like, I'm not trying to be Marxist, fascist, or oppressive in any way. All I want are some fucking laws in place that protect people who just want to come on here, fire it up, and talk. I mean, you could fire up another stream, any of you, and just lie about me, you know. Just leave it at that. Log out, don't do anything else. Don't fly a drone into my house. Made in Ukraine. Yeah, I quit meeting people. Well, Clara, that's different. But before her and after, I don't meet people from the internet. I just don't. It's why. You know, I mean, I'm sure people are really cool, but a lot of people live fucking far away, and I'm not doing the Airbnb shit anymore. Where you get 8 people that you don't know, that you just met in an Airbnb, and you lock your door at night. You know, that type of thing. Yeah. I'm good. I got 2 dogs. They're my friends. I got 10 fingers. They're my friends too. We got 15 minutes to go. Yeah, buddy. Going for a record. 3 hours. You can hear the speculation already. Gotta get some Call of Duty in. I won't, though. Every time I say that, I don't. I get some Call in. There's this movie with Tom Hardy and the guy that plays what's his name from Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon. The guy that plays him. He's in it, and some other people. It's a movie where like Tom Hardy talks really strange, but it's like because he's a really violent guy, it makes it anyway. Norman Reedus. I saw him on Clearwater Beach. I don't know how my friend spotted him. I'm nearsighted. She's like, there's Norman Reedus. And then like, we kind of like walked over a little bit. I was like, oh my God, it is. And then we turned around, and I don't know if you've ever tried to run in sand or walk fast in sand. It is just pointless. It is. So he beat feet and went through a gift shop and disappeared. So I didn't really want to bug him because he's there chilling, walking on the beach because nobody was there, and it was like December. So no, Norman Reedus from The Walking Dead. Norman Reedus the book. Flamp. Narcissist, no contact with kids involved. I have all this shit.
How do you go no contact?
How do you go no contact when there's kids involved? This must be about going non-contact with the ex.
Watch a video together and then chat about it.
We didn't have a manual. It was just like you had to learn how to co-parent. And it's not easy at first because like, your worry is for your kids, and sometimes there's some women out there that don't make really good decisions. So that's another worry, right? Oh, we're going to watch this one. I'm sorry.
I really thought I could get through this without crying.
27% of American adults have cut contact with a family member, lasting an average 4.5 years.
I never dreamed I'd be part of that statistic. Have you seen this?
Dear parents, I need to speak my truth. All my life, I've been gasped about what I need to say. I need you to know how you're feeling my mental health. It's bad. I have my life ruined because of you.
90% of the letter was about politics and how we couldn't be in her life if we supported that guy. This kind of angry outburst from her was so out of character, we were shocked. We just didn't know what to do. I mean, I thought I was a good mom. Not perfect, but pretty good.
Honestly, I was in denial at this point because I thought this was more a thing between her and my husband, Ted, because I'm not that political at all. So I thought we could still have a relationship.
So one day I responded positively to one of her Facebook posts, like normal, thinking that the letter was just some one-off thing that would blow over. But she unfriended me and followed up with a text that said something
Sounds familiar.
like, "You don't get to stay in my life. I'm keeping this number for family emergencies only. Don't contact me."
Ted's sister got involved to see if she could help, but Haley immediately unfriended her, which was surprising because the two of them were politically aligned.
Friends offered to step in and say something on our behalf, but after what happened to Ted's sister, we just said no. A couple weeks later, she did not wish me happy birthday for the very first time. This wound was so fresh, I couldn't even say her name when I talked about it.
I've even had some people really close to me decide to move on from me. And that's the hardest of all.
Yeah.
In November, I texted her that we were going to Montana to see her sister for Thanksgiving and that she was warmly invited, but if we didn't hear back, we'd assume she wasn't interested.
Yep.
Silence.
Yep.
In December, I texted Merry Christmas and told her that we loved her. Silence.
Yep.
So that winter, I emailed her a few times, mostly personal development stuff that I thought she'd be interested in.
More more silence.
Around this time, I started watching videos on estrangement to see if I could figure out what was going on.
I did it intermittently because I think I was still in denial, thinking she would just come back in time.
Yeah.
And it seemed appropriate to reach out occasionally to let her know I loved her because that's what moms are supposed to do, right?
I mean, I tried to maintain contact. She shut that down.
The longer this went on, the more real it began to
Sad.
feel, and there was just this cauldron of emotions, horrible emotions.
Yes.
Shock and shame,
Yep.
anger, denial, sadness, depression, betrayal. It was so hard to process.
So like that shit's not funny. And people think it's funny. It's not funny. Trauma's not funny. People doing things because of stuff like this isn't funny, you know? I mean, it's sad. And your assumptions about people are fucking malicious.
I joined some parental estrangement groups on Facebook to see how other parents were coping, and while it was nice to know that I wasn't alone,
I could not spend too much time there because it was all the same misery that I felt. So horribly sad and depressing. There were just broken hearts everywhere. I could not face all that pain. Sadly, at one point, I had to text her to let her know Grandpa died, Ted's dad. She'd had a good relationship with him.
I was very matter of fact about it. He died. There's a memorial. Here's the Zoom link. This was still during COVID. She did attend, to her credit. We were glad to see her there, although we didn't see her there. She didn't have her camera on and she didn't say anything. She was there.
I sent her a text wishing her happy birthday and telling her I loved her. Silence. I was so sad on her birthday. This is a very special day for me too. It's the day I first became a mother.
I guess that's my way of saying I still love you, I still think about you, but I don't want to intrude in your space.
Yep.
And instead of buying her a present for her birthday every year, it's probably going to sound stupid, but I buy myself a present for Haley's birthday every year.
Nothing wrong with that. But there comes a point where you have to just I don't know. I say this, but you have to like, it's almost like say fuck it. Because you know when you could compare it to a breakup, really. You know, you're texting, calling, you know, and you get the cold silent treatment and you just keep doing. Eventually you have to just say, I'm done. I did all I can. I've been miserable for way too fucking long. And for some reason, a lot of demented people think this shit's funny. And I don't find it amusing. I don't find it funny at all. Because this arena of just being on the internet, this is what I'm talking about. I should be able to just be here and talk about what I talk about without other people being poisoned against me by people who dislike me because of, spell it with me, guys, Lies.
It's like a consolation prize.
Mother's Day 2021 also passed in silence for the very first time. By now, I had moved from shock and shame into feeling this kind of low-level anger, definitely resentment, and yeah, betrayal.
My husband may have texted her once or twice that summer, but I did not.
On the one-year anniversary of her angry letter, I emailed my sad letter response. I started off with a story about the time I saved her from choking to death on a candy wrapper when she was a baby,
which was probably the worst way to start, but I didn't know
Then I went into the I don't know everything, but I did the best I could reasoning. Then I went on to calmly address some of the points in her letter. I apologized for not being the parent she needed, but I also expressed dismay at her level of intolerance, which
What? Over a pizza? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
I probably shouldn't have done, but I wanted to be honest and basically just wished her the best of everything in life.
my birthday passed in silence once again, which is sad because she was the one who always remembered everybody's birthdays in the family, even my dad's, who she hardly knew.
Around this time, we discovered her TikTok, which I have to confess was strange and difficult to digest because she does a lot of exotic cosplay.
And I couldn't help myself. I binge watched a bunch of them, then combed through all the comments looking for any mention of us.
I was pretty annoyed at being relegated to the status of random internet viewer, but I was glad that I could see her.
In November, my husband and I caught the super nasty Delta version of COVID. It was truly awful for me, but way, way worse for Ted.
We're talking hospitals, paramedics. It got so bad, I texted her. I told her that she should call Daddy-O because he had COVID and he wasn't doing well at all. He was really struggling and it was scary. She did call, which was a miracle.
Oh, wow, she
But
called.
Apparently she was almost like an automaton, dead inside.
Yeah.
I don't know, kind of like
Indoctrinated.
a robot.
Dude, you could take a completely grounded, normal person and put them with the wrong person, a toxic, ideological fanatic, and they will take this completely benign person and turn them into a zombie and a follower. And that's what it sounds like happens here. But let me also say, it doesn't have to be politically ideological. It could be race. It could be anything. It could be you said something somebody didn't like, you know, like the thing that always happens with me. I like what he said. I don't care. First Amendment.
I mean, Ted really appreciated the call. Don't get me wrong. Really appreciated that call. It meant so much to him. But it was also like she wasn't all there. It was very
Indoctrinated.
strange.
Brainwashed
Ted
by
texted
these.
her after he recovered to thank her for calling, but she didn't respond.
Yeah.
My dad died on Christmas Day, but I didn't bother to tell Haley because she didn't really know him.
He was a sweet guy, but kind of an odd duck living in his own world. But he was my dad, and it was really hard to watch him die.
Yeah. Oh my God, this is sad. That's me. Just living life. It's me, you, everybody. That's all we want to do is live life, right? And be, you know, live and let live.
And the one gift that you get out of that typically is that it makes you realize how short and precious life is.
It
I'm
is.
older.
My
I'm in
my time is
50s.
very precious.
I mean, mortality is right there. When you're
Yeah.
a kid, you look at your parents like this big, all-knowing people, and then when you get to be an adult, you realize, oh my God, they're flawed. And there's a breakaway period where you break away and you're like, get away from me. And then
You hear that? We're flawed. Imagine that. Imagine a human being being flawed. I think there should be a rule that if you do commentary on someone, then you need to be less flawed than they are, or you need to be willing to admit your flaws, right?
usually there's a period where they come back, and hopefully they will at some point. But just in case they don't, they'll have some videos to watch about who was mom and what did she worry about and what did she think about. And I don't know, maybe nobody cares.
So I was grieving for Dad that winter, but also for Haley, who didn't seem to care.
There is nothing like grieving someone who is alive. It is easier when the person is gone because there's finality. But you grieve. You can grieve people who are still alive.
I texted her happy birthday and told her that I loved her, which was my only attempt at contact that entire year. Silence.
Yep.
So of course I had to peek at TikTok.
I read all her birthday comments, and she seemed to have a lot of fans sending her presents. We have been replaced by fans. I ordered Joshua Coleman's book, Rules of Estrangement, scanned a couple of chapters out of order, including the amends letter section,
which I could not stomach because it required far too much contrition. Like, it's all the parents' fault.
Yeah. That was recommended to me, and I know that the recommendation was meant to be well. It was meant well, but it required me to be dishonest to myself about how I felt about a situation. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be like, yeah, no, I'm not going to compromise whatever pain I've been through just because I want something. I've never wanted anything bad enough in my life where I was willing to be deceptive. You know?
We had no contact. I threw myself into a new YouTube channel and took a month-long camping trip around the U.S.
That sounds
After my
fun.
dad dying and losing Haley, I just needed to get out and start living my own dreams now before it's too late. I brought the Coleman book with me on this adventure, but I didn't read it. I was still low-level bitter and resentful over being ghosted. On my birthday, which passed again in silence, I went for a hike.
And 2 years later, she's still not talking to me. Can't make her love me. I can't make her want to talk to me. I can't make
That's
her
right.
call. I can't make her do anything.
Nope.
So
You can't.
I'm just
You
trying
can't.
to cope.
Yep. That's all you got to do.
I never in a million years imagined that I would have a daughter who would just cut me out of her life.
You know, it's. I have researched this more and more lately. I've been not willing to do that because, you know, it's stupid. And then I see it happening to all these other parents for all these other reasons. And it's like, man, I couldn't imagine, you know, like when I had a kid, I couldn't wait for my mom and dad to come around and be grandma and grandpa. I couldn't wait for all that stuff. The family was bigger. We were going to have bigger Christmases. We got bigger Thanksgivings. We're going to have big, you know, and it's different now. 24 years later, it's different. And it's heartbreaking.
We did the best we could. We poured a lot of love and resources and time and energy. And she rejected me. And it's hard not to hold a grudge.
Yeah, don't.
Admitting that I was angry and holding a grudge was really hard because that's not who I am. I binged on her TikTok again and found some references to us, including a video dedicated to what she'd learned going no contact with her parents. I sat down with Ted and we watched together.
You know, I think the thing that I guess irks me, that whole love with strings attached thing, I don't get that.
Love with strings attached.
I don't want to be with people like that.
Love is...
They love you for who you are, not for who they want you to be.
She was tactful, but the comments supporting her decision to dump us were really hard to take.
Oh, I
we
bet.
also learned that she's been diagnosed with ADHD and high-functioning autism, which
I think they're one and the same, but that's me because I have ADHD. I'm almost 50 and I have ADHD and I take medication for it and it kind of helps and it kind of doesn't. It depends. Some days I am a laser, other days I'm a sloth.
was news to us.
You know, maybe that explains some of her behavior.
I don't know why I even told you
If
that.
we had seen it, we would have taken her to doctors, but we didn't see it. She seemed like a normal kid to us.
She doesn't even care how we feel. She doesn't care if we're struggling with this issue. She doesn't care if we're alive or dead. I mean, she doesn't really know.
I don't know what she said. Maybe she said that, but like, you know, if I haven't heard something, then I don't know something, you know, feel me?
Are there any I'm really sorry. There's nothing there. There's just, I had a mental problem. Sorry. She didn't care. She doesn't care still. I'm sorry, Katie. I'm just very upset.
I really thought we did our best.
Throughout this whole ordeal, I've continued my daily meditation practice.
Good.
And afterwards, I usually spend a few minutes reading from some inspirational book. At one point, I was reading about living a compassionate life. And when I got to the chapter on forgiveness, wow. Lately, I've been thinking about forgiveness. Forgiving her, but forgiveness for myself, too. And Ted. But mostly myself.
Yes, absolutely. In any of these situations, albeit a relationship or anything, you need to focus on yourself. If it's been years and it's still toxic and it's still killing you like this, you got to focus on yourself immediately.
Because you can't help but blame yourself when something like this happens with a child.
It's true. It's true.
That you raised and poured all your love and energy in.
Everything. Everything. I don't think, parents give up a lot. I get a lot of shit online. And it's based off of, I don't even know, people got cameras in my house or something. But I know that I busted my ass to raise this wonderful kid that I have, right? And we've talked about this type of topic. We talk about all these different toxic trends and topics and everything because I want him to avoid these rabbit holes and these vortexes of fucked up people who just want misery. Misery loves company.
Everything. We just gave her the best of everything we could. Letting go of our anger is a way of being compassionate towards ourselves. Anger keeps us stuck in the past, obsessing over what has already happened.
Yep.
Forgiveness does not ignore the harm or justify a person's misdeeds, but it releases the pain and anger connected to them. I debated texting happy birthday, but did not.
Don't do it.
Today is my daughter's birthday. She is 29, and she hasn't spoken with us for 2.5 years now.
That's crazy.
And that has
I don't get it.
Very difficult to deal with.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm learning to accept it because that's all I can do.
Yeah, well, you don't have a choice.
The last text I sent was happy birthday last year. So she is lost to us now at this point. And this was not something we ever envisioned for our lives. Oh God, I'm going to cry. I thought I was going to make it through this without crying.
Go ahead. It's hard to talk about. It's a hard topic to talk about.
I can't. It's like she's dead, but she's not. And I'm grateful that she's not. And I am grateful that she's on social media somewhere. If I feel the need to go see her, I can see her. So, happy birthday, Haley. I wish you all the best in what you're doing. I admire that you're following your dreams and you're doing what you believe is right. And I hope you are loved and surrounded by people who truly love you, not for some persona that you may be online, but for who you truly are as a person. And I know you're a kind soul with a really big heart, with so much love to give. And so I hope you find a place to express that love and find someones who appreciate that love and reflect it back to you. I wish you health and happiness. Just live your best life. Do good in the world. Just know that I still love you, no matter what you say or don't say about me. You can't change that. I will fucking love you forever, like it or not. Because I'm a mom. And moms are like that.
Yeah, that was a tough one. Well, that should educate those who are wanting to learn. She's so right on everything. Look, man, all my laundry's been fucking aired out. You know, everybody, all the comments I see and everything, it's all been, but 90% of it's not true. But some things are true. And I fucking condemn anyone who thinks that someone's child not talking to them and not having anything to do with them is funny. How much do you need to hate somebody to think that pain, hurt, and love, the destruction of those, is funny? That's why I played all these videos tonight, was because everything's a joke. Everything's a joke. I don't give a fuck because I know how I feel, and nobody could change how I feel. But there are a lot of people out there who think this shit's funny. They think it's funny to bring up. Motherfucker, when you come in my chat and you say that something even my own kids won't have anything to do with me, don't you think that I fucking know that? Are you reminding me? It doesn't hurt me because it already hurts. So all you're doing is repeating what I'm telling myself. And why anybody would want to come on here and go in a comment section or anywhere and try to intentionally bring somebody down to an emotional level using their family or their children is fucked in the goddamn head. I have sat here and watched people support this type of stuff, support these type of channels, support these type of people, and it never makes sense. Those who thrive on pain will live by the sword and die by the sword. Your obsessions there are certain reasons why I just talk about certain topics, and it's because I see shit sometimes on accident. And I'm like, fucking really? Fucking really? Really? But everything up to now, it's all been bullshit, and it's not funny anymore. And people gotta chill. Everybody needs to take a fucking chill pill. If somebody wants to come on here and tell a story about their diabetes, fine. If you want to go review it, fine. Stay away from them, though. That's all you gotta do. And and the things you mock. I mean, it's like you say I'm a bad person, but then you mock me for something that really hurts. Who's the bad person here? Who's the bad guy? It ain't me. So it must be you. Because I'm not mocking somebody for their children not talking to them. No, I'm not doing that. Am I doing that? No. But I'm a bad person, so people do that to me. That is, I don't know what kind of justification that's called, but it borders psychopathic. To be like, well, I don't like this guy, so he deserves this, but he's a bad guy. And then you act worse. You act worse. If you could set an example of hate like you do, why can't anybody set an example of at least some positivity, some knowledge, some logic? People calling police on Chantel, stalking people. I mean, like taking their cats, and it's it's fucked up. But I'll say this, then I'm gonna wrap it up. I see it's 3 hours 15. Everybody thinks I'm insane. The shit that I have been through or have endured or whatever, because nobody can make a list of the things I've done. They can't. It's just impossible, because there's nothing I've done that's illegal or what do you call it? IRL. So anyway, the shit that I have endured, there's not a single person who mocked any of my situations that could make it through it for a month. You wouldn't. You'd be done after a month. You'd crumble. You'd crumble to something. Drugs, alcohol, heroin, something. Everybody does. So you wouldn't be able to handle it. Keep on hating, because I mean, like, it's very bizarre to make up stories about people, believe them, and use that as a basis to essentially tell people they deserve to die. I find it abhorrent. I find it absurd, very absurd, fucking absurd, and psychopathic. So going forward, gonna find a solution, guys. We got to find a solution. I need somebody who is a lawyer. If you know one, I'm gonna start looking around. I'm gonna ask around. I might have a friend. We're gonna get this shit going, because I am done. I want to be able to do a podcast, talk for 10 hours if I want to, and be in peace. That's what I want. And I want that for everybody else too. Because it's not just been me, it's been other people. Boogie's Swatter just got 20 years. Like, it's not cool anymore. I want live streaming and YouTube to go back to, like, just to be fun again. Like I said with Cyrax, how many times have they called the cops? Almost 200 times. That's fucked up. It cost for the one at my place that you know who did, it cost $2,500. I looked it up. For all those units to come there and get ready, it was $2,500. Cost the city $2,500 for a fake call. You'd be fucking ashamed of yourself. Think it's funny? You should be fucking ashamed. All you assholes are in your fucking 40s and 50s. You know what I'm saying? You're in your 40s and 50s. This is the equivalent of in 1980, people calling CPS on each other out of revenge. I remember this happening. I don't know why, but I remember this happening. That's why when it started happening online, I was like, wow, this seems familiar. But I'm pretty sure people clip this. They're going to review it. I hope you do. And I hope you reach deep within your fucking gray matter and find something wrong with everything I said. I do. And then I want to go and see what the hell you say. Because it's never right. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. 3 hours. Yes, we set a record. All right. Anyway, be kind to yourself. Be kind to others. Otherwise, we're not going to make this out. We're going to go. We won't make it. Seriously. We'll be beef jerky. Bye.